What is up, people? Get that turned off. Alright, there we go, my bad. So, what is up, people? It's been a second, huh? I didn't go live yesterday because I had practice and, like I said, kid comes first. So let's say what's up to everyone before we get started. Just want to let everyone know that it is going to be an open panel, open topic. I'm going to put the link out there in about 2 seconds. But what I wanted to do is say what's up. Because, hey, I missed a day. What's up, Crash? And unfortunately, we will not talk about Star Trek. Anything of relevance, fine, but not Star Trek. What's up, Chris? How you doing, sir? Let me see else. What's up, Crack Rabbit? What's up, Shroomy? What's up, GPS? What's up, Amy? How you doing? What's up, Peter Devil? What's up, Sean? Let's see, I think that's it. What's up, Fred? What's up, John? How you guys doing? There you guys are. What's up, Plain Truth? What's up, Flat Earth Rig? What's up, Monkey? What's up, Jose? Good show today, man. I just got to listen to that. What's up, Aaron? And all right, so get that done. All right, so let's see. All right, get that link out now. I had it already copied and pasted, but I forgot. Go. And again, now that I have the awesome chat in my OBS, just make sure you tag me and I'll be able to see it for sure. What's up, Blue Marble? How you doing, sir? It's been a minute. I know Sean Smith had brought up something that me and Grizz were talking about. So it was kind of in the whole cloud seeding realm. He asked me about whether or not droughts in California could be blamed on cloud seeding, and actually, yes, it can. I'll go into it. What's up, Travis? How you doing, sir? What's up, Sean? What up? Hang on, you guys are super loud in my ear. Hang on 1 second. Let me make sure your audio is good to everyone out there. Let me know if you guys can hear him just fine now.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay.
What?
What's up, Sean?
I can turn down my mic. Not much.
No,
Hey, don't let Aaron in, man. Do not let him.
It's too late. Damn it.
This panel. What?
Wait.
I'm out of here.
I thought you would be conditioned by dance performance today or this morning on Jose's.
You thought I would be conditioned by Dan's performance? What does that mean?
Yeah, you'd be able to handle just a rambling.
Okay.
Where's the road, Travis? Where's the road, Travis? Where's the road?
God! I wanted to punch Brenda in the kneecap.
Travis, where's the road?
Man.
Where'd the building go? Where's the building? Where'd it go?
Here's the thing. Okay,
Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy Johnny? Where's Daddy Johnny?
This is in Brenda's defense and also everyone else's. She's been around a long time. She's about as frustrated as it gets, but at the same time, I have no idea why she just insists on making sure she gets on these panels to continue that conversation. I don't
Agreed,
know.
John. Agreed.
It kind of goes both ways. Aaron, you're kind of the ones that get them all triggered and irritated and pissed off at Flat Earth, and you're not even a fucking Flat Earther, Aaron.
Hey, somebody's got to bring some drama, right?
No.
Yes.
High school. That's for little girls.
Okay, somebody's got to bring some truth. How about that?
We can discuss my question from Sean's Discord server.
Oh yeah. Hey, Crash. I'm down for that.
Oh,
where's Jose?
I have no problem talking about what you had suggested, Crash. I just don't want to talk about Star Trek.
It was more the ethical side of Star Trek.
No, there is no ethical side of Star Trek.
No.
And any technology in Star Trek, we can talk about without using Star Trek.
No, we can't. No.
I will end this stream. I'll kick all you off this stream. I'm not as tricky or whatever the hell you call them. I can care less about it, or I actually like vagina, so therefore we can't talk about it.
Hey, I just watched Jose's show this morning, dude. That was damn good for about the first hour. Uh, After that, of course, it gets pretty much, you know how it turns. No flat earthers on the panel, just kind of back and forth. But that first hour is pretty good. And Travis
Wait, Travis, weren't you on there?
was, yeah.
He's a flat earther, so.
Yeah, I think he means after I left. You'd have to mean after I left.
I watched part of Jose's this morning, but I was driving 14 hours, so.
Crash, why the hell do you drive so much? What are you doing?
I get paid to play with toy trucks, and the Proline G6 Fix Enduro is this weekend.
It sounds like you just get paid to deliver them, not play with them.
No.
Play with is.
So what do you
Work on
drive
it.
your own
Have them.
personal vehicle, like with a trailer and shit, and go to different tracks and stuff
Jesus
like
Christ,
that? Or-
Aaron, you really know how to just.
I just want to know why this guy's driving all the time. What the hell is he
Damn.
doing? Gee whiz.
But, dude, if you're gonna ask anybody why they drive so much, why don't you ask Sean? 9 times out of 10, he's in his fucking truck. Okay.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's when that's when it's like makes sense to ask someone that kind of question.
Sean who? You?
God damn
No,
it, dude.
Sean Smith.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm always driving. That's I'm at work all the time when I'm listening or on Jose's show.
Oh, Sean Hawkins, right? Sean Hawkins?
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah. Anyway.
Sean got to see a beautiful picture for where I'm camping at this weekend, though.
Oh yeah,
Where's that?
yeah, that is a beautiful spot.
I am in, what the hell is the name of this place? Blue Rocks Family Campground in Linhartsville, Pennsylvania.
So if you're in Linhart's, Pennsylvania, and you want to meet Crash. So we can talk about the topic that you discussed. What type of transporter, without saying, like, I'm serious. You guys keep talking about Star Trek, I'll boot you.
Well,
Boot me first. Make sure you boot me first if they go Star Trek.
No. Wait, time out. No matter what happens, Aaron, I will never boot you. I will always wait to see if your dumb ass gets stuck.
Dude, I can't find my way out. I'm alright.
The current theory on the way the transporter works is it replicates your cells somewhere else, thereby making a copy of you. So what happens to the original you?
He was talking about transportation,
But
like why you're at the campground, right?
Shut up. Anyway, I think, because I've read stuff about that, and I think the idea is that, yeah, it would literally separate you. Oh.
Yeah, so, like, are you committing suicide every time you transport yourself so that your clone version of you can live?
Hold on. You guys, listen, seriously, in all seriousness, you guys have to watch 1 Minute Time Machine, okay? You go on YouTube. The channel is Dust, D-U-S-T, and they do a lot of sci-fi. They do a lot of sci-fi.
I'm subbed to them. That's an awesome episode, by the way.
That
what's the channel
1 Minute
called
Time
again?
Machine.
1 Minute Time
Dust.
Dust, D-U-S-T, all capitals.
Huh.
And 1 Minute Time Machine is just absolutely brilliant. It is so good. So good. And it's talking about what we're talking about right now, so.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Last Day of the War is a pretty good one, too.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's kind of an AI. We let AI run our military, and all the humans are dead, and it's when everything finally shuts down, and it's pretty good.
Is it a long video, that one, or?
They're all only like, maybe, I think the longest one on there is 15 minutes.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of like the trailers that they make, like the horror trailers and stuff.
Okay, I see. I get it. I thought it was like a explaining it.
But once you do the 1 Minute Time Machine, the next stuff that comes up in feeds for me was always Time Machine stuff, and they were all really good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's the ethical issue with that kind of transportation system. Are you committing suicide every time you step into it?
No.
So that the clone version of you can live.
To commit suicide, you must be dead.
how do we know we
Well-
haven't been transported here now? Right?
Because you would know. It's not like
Well-
it erases your mind.
A
Well,
version
think
of
about it. Think about it. As soon as you make as soon as you make the commitment to step in, it's like 1 second, and 1 second you're someplace else. So, do you lose 1 second of your life every
What
time?
happens to your memory? What happens to your memory?
No,
in a-
you wouldn't, because you don't lose a millisecond of your life blinking, and when you blink, you're not looking and acknowledging something. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of
You're being
Yeah,
ripped
physically
apart.
transported. What about mentally though? Is it also a
Christ.
you retain? I don't
Well,
know. I'm
that's
just
the
asking
thing.
questions about this. Sounds cool, actually.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You're not sure. You're not sure what happens to you in that moment when you're transported someplace else.
But in the videos, do they Travis or Crash? Do they retain memory or?
Well, we were talking about a specific system that Sean says we can't bring up in the stream.
You're damn right.
That's right. And
No,
now
you
it's
can-
quite
So we're
interesting.
keeping it as far away from it as possible.
We can talk about it, just not the name.
The other paradox we were talking about is: have you seen The Prestige, Sean?
I don't think so.
Oh, come on, Sean.
What type
I
of
haven't
movie
seen
is
it
it?
either. Sean, high five. I haven't seen it.
I'm gonna go watch it now.
It's a period piece.
It's really
It's a
good.
period piece about an illusionist. Well, actually, two illusionists. The two best illusionists in the world.
Don't give it away, Sean. Man, don't. It's,
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Can you link me to it?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Actually, Sean, back off your mic about a little bit, just a little.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't
No.
that a newer
Can you
film?
link
That's
me to it?
that's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
Christian,
Actually, Sean,
Christian Bale and
back off
Hugh
your mic,
Jackman.
Bob, so a little
Oh,
bit,
okay,
just a little.
yeah. I saw ads for it.
It's a good movie, and it's one of the only movies that I watched and immediately watched the entire movie again, like 5 minutes later.
Okay, cool. Don't say anymore.
I did that with Memento.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, me too. With Memento,
Yep. Memento was the same way.
with Guy Ritchie.
So we can't
Yep.
discuss that paradox either, Sean Smith, because it just give away the entire movie for Sean G.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, put it this way, I don't watch too many movies ever, so you might as well just talk. I doubt I'm gonna watch it. That's how I roll.
Sean, I'll
Well,
watch
that's-
it and tell you about it.
No, please don't, Aaron. Please.
It's cool, man.
What the hell did I do wrong?
Well, actually, he may have questions about cloning.
Yeah,
Well, we can talk cloning.
well, that's kind of part of the movie we were just discussing.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
Why?
Again,
It doesn't exist.
Just say spoiler alert, and then if after that, it's everyone else's problem.
Yeah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Wait, when did this movie
Go
come
ahead,
out?
When did it come out?
2003, maybe?
Oh,
Has
yeah.
it been that long?
If you haven't seen it, and this is a spoiler and it ruins it for you, kiss my ass. There's your disclaimer, people.
So it's a period piece set overseas about two illusionists that are trying to come up with the ultimate magic trick, and one of them does it, and the other one tries to copy it, but the other one goes and sees Nikola Tesla, and Tesla creates a machine that clones himself.
Okay, what is based in reality, though? Are we not talking reality?
Well, the
'Cause
Christian
cloning-
Bale character is entirely based in reality. It's based around Christian Bale's character is based around what a lot of true illusionists did back then, which was have either double or live alternate lives.
We're
So
not. Let's talk about it, man. Sean, stop ruining it for me. I want to watch the movie. Just because you're not, doesn't mean that has to give it
I
away.
hate you, Aaron. I do.
God damn it.
I do. I really.
It came out
I
in
really do.
2003. That's double three Illuminati confirmed.
Oh my god, you irritate me sometimes. Just like I want to. Okay.
Don't worry, Sean. I slapped the shit out of myself. You don't have to.
Please do.
When you watch
no, wait. Stop, everyone. I want to hear it.
you want to hear the key to the movie?
No, I want to hear Aaron smack himself.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
Bang. There you go.
No.
Boom. Boom.
Nope. Aaron.
Shout out to Jose. Boom.
Aaron. Aaron.
Yes.
It's time. Go ahead.
Sean, you are one of the only virtual friends that I would ever let smack me if I met you in real life.
I would love
Okay?
to smack you right now.
That's right. There we go. And I'd love to let you teach me a bunch of moves to stop that smack also.
I would not teach them.
Okay. Well, then we're at an impasse. We're
Are
at an
we?
impasse, man.
I don't think we are.
Oh, and John Watson has a new nickname, by the way.
Oh God, what's that?
It's Scotty Chewbacca.
Drunk Australian.
It's Scotty Chewbacca Borden.
Oh my.
You'll have to read Sean's Discord to find out why.
Oh my. That sounds extreme.
Does it?
We had a pretty twisted discussion on Sean's Discord earlier.
Why do you guys have to do that there? Like, there's so many places. Like, oh, you guys are no. Crash, you're lucky, you're my friend. That's all I have to say, man. I mean, Jesus.
It was fun,
Was it?
and I didn't start it. So, yeah.
Okay, so while you guys have been talking, whatever, I looked up teleportation.
Okay.
It's damn. It says an actual teleportation of matter has never been realized. It is a questionable if it can ever be achieved because any transfer of matter from one point to another without traversing the physical space between them violates Newton's laws. I guess that means I am against teleportation altogether. Now, how would that go against Newton's laws?
I think it has to do with the actual transportation of the mass. But if you go by the transporter system from the universe we were talking about,
Yeah, again,
there
hang on. No, nope.
they had a workaround for Newton's laws that works.
They said they had a workaround. They specifically said that. Okay, continue.
Yes. Their workaround is it's not actually transporting you from one place to another. It is replicating you in another place. Therefore, what happens to the original you that stepped into the machine? That's why the ethical question is, are you committing suicide every time you step in that transportation system?
No. Because if you're damn it.
If it's replicating you and there's not two of you existing in that universe at the same time to create a paradox,
but that's exactly why
one version of you had to die.
That's why we have to start talking more in a realistic term because, no, that's not how it would work in real. If it were to be real, I guess you would say.
But yeah, that was how they got around that. The same way the food replicators work in that universe.
All right, so they in them says he thinks that they may have teleported a single molecule before. Find out.
Hey, Crashes, do you... I had an RC car back in the day, actual gas, or it's nitromethane.
Yes.
Is that what they run? Is that what you guys still run, or is there...
Well, that's what I do when I go racing, but this weekend we're doing the scale challenge.
Okay, so this is actually kind of funny, interesting. Let me go ahead and share this. This is what I found when I asked if a molecule has ever been transported or teleported. I'm sorry. This is what I got. What's up, Jose?
What's up, man? Hello, everybody.
So this is what it got. It says
Hey, Jose.
Beam me up, Scotty. Scientists teleport photons 300 miles into space. Chinese scientists have teleported an object from Earth to a satellite orbiting 300 miles away in space, in a demonstration that has echoes of science fiction. Feat set a new record for quantum teleportation, an eerie phenomenon in which the complete properties of one particle are instantaneously transferred to another, in effect teleporting it to a distant location. Scientists have hailed the advance as a significant step towards the goal of creating an unhackable quantum internet. I don't think this is the same as what you were thinking. I was thinking.
You know what? Yeah, realistically about this teleportation thing, I heard a lot before actually I came to Flat Earth. I heard Michio Kaku talking a lot about this and other people, theories out there about teleportation, and they are able to teleport like one molecule or particle or whatever, something very minuscule. But what they do is, in the receiving end, what they have built is a gigantic like 3D printer with all kinds of the chemicals, the periodic table, everything else. So if they kind of blow this one up, poof, and that absorb all the data, is spit it out in the other side as with the chemicals, and it build it. Some kind of a 3D printer. So if a human being in the future, hundreds of years from now, are able to be teleported, let's say a little rat, an ant, right? So you put an ant in one machine, and that machine will like poof, like whatever, burn it up, disappear. It's gonna disappear. What it's gonna do is gonna absorb all the data, the little gases and the little components, and then in the other side is gonna then rebuild it. So this original ant is dead, like dead, disappear. They're gonna build another one, create the brain with all the everything, all the data, everything in it. So he's gonna think it's the same one, but it's actually a new one. So if a human is able to do it, the human will die instantly, and you're gonna have a totally brand new human in the other side. Same thoughts on, holy shit, we made it. Yeah, I was there, now I'm here. Bushy, you're another guy, So he's murder.
And that is the paradox we were discussing in Sean's Discord.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, is my mic still hot?
It's not as bad, but a little bit.
Yeah. They say it's a matter of ethic. It's more of an ethic, because scientifically, science-wise, they might be able to pull it off in a very far future when they get the technology. But then ethically, you're killing people, killing human beings, and creating them again. So that's out of, you have to kill and you have to create, and that's kind of the off point there,
Yeah, that's exactly what we were discussing in Sean's Discord.
Yeah, China grows. Now, it's illegal in the USA for some reason, but China grows stem cells from their community, And so...
it's because they have completely different laws.
Absolutely. So, but what I'm saying is Americans or Westerners, Europeans will go to China with, they're paralyzed, and China will take look, I'm not an expert, but a stem cell from their back, they'll grow it and inject it back in, and the dude can walk. It takes months, but fucking hey, it's like a regeneration of your own body, and that's pretty cool.
The problem with that is then it's the ethics of changing, or it's basically the ethics of making a perfect person. Is it okay or not?
It's also the ethics between countries of do we want a sick country or do we want a healed country? And China is opposite of the USA. We here in the US, we do want a sick population. Obviously, it makes money.
What are you talking about?
Pharmaceutical industry.
Start over, because I'm not even thinking I don't think you're trolling.
You're going far. Yeah, you're going too far, Aaron. Today.
Yeah, but I don't get. What
you're saying. Well, what I'm saying is along the lines of transportation, or what Jose was just talking about. Yeah, it doesn't happen with a 3D printer. But in China, or in other places, you can take parts of your own body, grow them, have a regrowth, inject it back into your body, and then have your legs work again. That's kind of
okay. But the problem, I see what you're saying. The issue with that's correct. But the problem is once if you're able to then do that, you're also able to do things like create perfect person or genetically modify
Yes.
your embryos or blah blah blah.
Yeah. Imagine a baby if you injected
And that's the
cells into a
ethical
baby
issue
and
of
watched.
why that's the ethical issue why it was outlawed here, or well, not really outlawed, just
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Made illegal. We'll call it illegal or whatever. Because private companies may start doing that,
They
and the
already do.
government said no. Oh yeah, the
So
government said no,
the
we're
same
not going to do that.
like how they have gene splicing, that's ethically up for debate still. Yet there are
Mhm.
companies that can make your baby's eyes blue, blonde or brown hair, stuff like that.
You can
They're able to do that. I mean, they do that.
you could make the perfect army if you could inject into a baby the cells that would create Arnold Schwarzenegger,
See,
right?
no. First of all,
You know what I mean?
you're not. I don't think you understand how that works. So it's not that they just make this cell, because cells
No. They don't make
have a
cells.
function. They do stuff.
But it's a reading cell or something. I'm not sure about stem cells. Maybe Jose's smarter. He's done more
No, it's
research,
just
or
okay. So like
Patrick,
when if you
or
get
you
Stem
are.
sick,
cells are just cells that haven't had been assigned a specific purpose by DNA yet.
Yeah.
yes.
Basically,
And when we talk gene splicing and making a perfect person, you're then talking about the DNA code that they're changing.
Yeah. Genes and cells are vastly different.
yes. The key thing with stem cells is they don't have an assigned purpose yet by DNA, so they can become anything. They can become skin, muscle,
Hmm.
whatever tissue you need that cell to become. But there's a lot of ethical ways in how do you acquire large amounts of stem cells.
That's true. Also.
I think the more struggle they're gonna have to create is gonna be the brain, the thoughts, everything about the brain.
Oh.
They
Oh yeah.
try to do kind of a little simulations and stuff with small animals, and it require like billions of like gigabytes of data and shit in this very advanced computer stuff.
Our
It's,
mind, Jose, might not be made of cells and DNA and shit, right? Because it's so open. There's this. It's not like an arm, you know, which
it's
is
some
just.
quantum, it's too advanced for us to break it down, figure it out, and scale it up in a physical
Yeah,
manner. It's just
that's what
almost
I think
impossible.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, even for a government or even a group of scientists from whatever country to figure out the brain. Wow, that's gonna be. Once they do, though, we're fucked. We're fucked.
We had
Wait,
this
what?
discussion the
Do
other
you
night with
realize
Barney. That was
they don't need that to make so that we're fucked. I mean, we already are. They're doing more
Yeah.
than enough,
Oh, yeah.
and they've been doing this stuff for a long
Open
time.
AI would be the same exact thing as our brain on a much larger scale.
General AI is way beyond us.
Yeah, Sean,
Well,
you're
yeah,
right. I mean, just pure manipulation of what my brain is already doing on my own, just thinking and then living my daily life. When we have our five senses, sight, hearing, touch, all taste, smell, our brain relates that to habits and
Hmm.
conformity,
Yep.
kind of,
No, it does.
pretty much.
100%.
And we've been raised like that through our life to be, and I don't want to say the word slave itself, but definitely conformist. We follow the rules, we follow what we're taught, we do what we're told.
then
And
something is definitely wrong with me.
Well, see, it's not exactly like that, Aaron. I mean, you're right
what
in
do
the
you think?
sense of I mean, there's a certain amount of our lives that are kind of how it is, based on how we grew up, what we grew up around. But it's how do I say it? You act as if everyone just does whatever. Trust me, the government can tell a lot of people to do a lot of things that it's just not going to happen. Some people may be like that, where they just kind of put their head down and they're like, "Hey, this is good for you. Take this." They do, but not everyone does. That's kind of the whole point of what conspiracy theorists, the vax movement is, anti-vax movement. It's like not everyone's like that.
Yeah. I was excluding me and you.
Please don't put us together.
I was excluding us. I was even.
And whatever side I'm on, trust me, you're definitely the other side.
It's all right. No worries.
Like nobody else fears from the state of Illinois, are they?
Fears?
The state of Illinois doesn't exist. You can't touch it, right?
Yeah, I live there, so.
But you can't touch it. There
what
is
are you
no
talking about?
Okay, sorry. All right, I went over your heads. Sorry about that.
It is the Great Corn Desert. I live there.
Yeah, it only exists on paper. That's it.
No,
are you trolling right now, Aaron? Because you're really crappy. That's crappy trolling.
I was gonna say I pretty accurately measured the distance to the state line from my house and the state lines of Indiana border to border, and the state lines of Ohio border.
Was there a line there? Was there a line there? You went from one line and then you went all the way over 500 miles to the other line?
Well, actually, yes, there is on Interstate 70. There's this lovely little plaque that says state line here, and it's painted on the damn interstate.
Hold on. So there's a sign. Who put that sign there?
It was measured by somebody. Like, if you would actually like paperwork, my granddad built the interstate north of my house. I can give you the details on how far it is.
I love interstates. I understand about construction and growth and all that. That's fine. But that line you're talking about, did you actually measure a line? Do you put your tape measure on a line? Your 500-foot tape.
A quick question: did we go from teletransportation to I'm just traveling to I'm just traveling?
Fucking weird, Jose. Man, this guy distraction. So I was talking about stem cells, and yes, you guys gave your opinion. I gave mine, and it is pretty cool. I'm just saying that if you look up what other countries are doing, I named China as one, but India is another one. Russia is another one. They're doing different things that we are allowed, or the industry here is allowed to do for a certain reason. And I don't know if it's good or bad. Like Sean said, we don't know.
Actually, we got on that discussion because you said most people conform to what the government says or tells us to do. My point with bringing up Illinois was 4 years ago, the state of Illinois tried to outlaw any colors, and 250,000 of us went to the state courthouse or state legislator's house in Springfield.
And what'd you do? Vote?
No, we sat outside and protested until ABATE got it shut down. But
and then 3 months later, you went and voted for these same people that you're protesting against.
I don't know, and neither do most of the people that were there. Most of us are completely anti-government. Our only government is what exists within ourselves.
So why'd you go run up to a building that you paid for and start shouting at it?
Because they were going to use it to illegally detain us.
How could they do that if you paid their salary, you paid for that building, you did all this? How can they turn around and start detaining you? How does that?
Because if they had passed that and it just got shut down on a federal level, thanks to the Pagans and the Pagans, but the federal government has seen that they cannot collect our patches or take copyrights from existing clubs, so we got protection there now.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I don't know. Patches of what are you talking about? Riding?
I know. I get that part, but why? What is the topic of it? Like, what the hell did you start, man? Aaron, you are just a panel killer.
I didn't say government. What I said was most people conform to what the media.
No, you said government, actually.
Remember, I brought up
you
5
said government.
You said government.
I did throw in the word government there because I wanted to test your level of consciousness about what you think about.
You're like a mini mind of God, Aaron.
Yeah, dude. Like,
It's all right.
hey, how
Everything's
about Aaron? Do me a favor. Just give me like 7 minutes of just you listening. Okay, perfect. What's up, Seek and Find?
Can we move to a new topic now?
We're kind of sort
What
of.
up? What up?
Been a minute. How you been?
Mic check. You can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
What's up? What's up, everybody?
Hey, let me fix this really quick. We see can find Sean.
Oh,
So one time block your account. So I took the moderator and I blocked it. When I tried to go to the list of all my blocked people, bro, I couldn't find you at all. And I check like almost every day. I said, let me see if I find see can find. People see you in the chat. People see you commenting. But me under my name, I cannot find you, bro. In my community settings,
Did
in my
you-
channel, you're not there.
Did you block his channel, or did you block him in the chat?
I block him in chat, just like everybody else. But for some reason, he doesn't appear in the block list, in the hidden list.
It would either. That's
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I don't know how
I don't know.
YouTube does that shit, because I hear that all the time. I do know if you know how your chats in the you play our chats. If you do that, you're supposed to be able to see every chat that
So-
goes through.
No, not the block people that I have. No.
So why did you block me, Jose? That's what I want to ask you. Why did you block me?
I don't remember. I think it was one time because I think it wasn't even because you being because you never been on my channel talking back then, and I think it was one time that I heard you here, and I was so pissed off and so carried, so heated. And I said, like, this motherfucker, and Chunji was going up on you too, and it was a mess. Everybody was angry. And I said, like, bro, I don't want to see him fighting my channel whatsoever. That's so pissing me off. He's so disingenuous. I don't want to hear him. And I just block you. That's it, period. I think that was it. And then I tried to find you, like, yeah, that was unfair. And yeah, you're gone forever, bro. Like, I'm going to keep trying to see what happens, but it was just weird.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I was just asking. I don't even know what I did. I remember Sean G blowing up on me one time. I forget. I don't.
It's been a few times.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but yeah.
Jose, if you do a search on YouTube, can you find Seek and Find's channel?
Yeah.
But you just can't. That's.
As a user under my name, under my main account, the host JG Gonzalez, I cannot find him.
Seek and Find. Do you have him blocked? His channel?
No, I don't have Jose blocked.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, I got a couple people blocked, but they're like staunch trolls or whatever. That I just have no interest in hearing what they have to say. So just like two people.
Oh, you know what? You know what might be it? Are you still are you a moderator still in that channel or no?
On what channel?
My channel. On my channel. Oh, you try to talk and it just doesn't come up.
Oh no, I'm not a moderator. No, you have me. I'm gray or whatever on here.
What's up, Chris?
Yeah. All right, I'll check it out.
It's no big deal. It's no big deal. I'm not really. I don't have a lot of time to get on panels and talk. When I do, it's not for long. So it's
Yeah,
all
but still,
good. I'm not too worried.
you still can jump in the voice. It's just the chat. I'll try to figure out on how.
No, because I can't see your chat at all. Like,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I can't see nothing. So when you post a link, it doesn't pop up for me.
All right.
Unless
Yeah,
I
I'll
get on,
tell
like,
somebody.
my
Yeah,
site.
in the next few days, I'll tell other people to post the links also because I might have some people blocked that I really want them in the panel sometimes.
It's all good, Jose. No worries. I mean, I tend to ruffle feathers, every night. It's all good, man. I ain't hold no grudge or nothing with anybody up here. So
Next time I'm on the live chat, Jose, and when you post it, if you want, I'll just copy and paste it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll shut up now.
y'all carry on.
Well, like I said the other day for everyone, I invited Seek and Find to have a conversation. I don't want a bunch of people attacking at once, but I'm gonna kind of make sure that doesn't happen regardless because it can get annoying. And I know Aaron's here, so you got to be careful. But I mean, like I said, this is an open topic. I would appreciate if somebody would give me a good topic rather than science fiction based topics.
I got 2 minutes left on my timeout.
God damn it! Shut up. Nope. Now you got another 5. Add 5 to it because you talked. Like I said, like a little kid. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for somebody to come up here and have like, some slides or something to show y'all or some definitive proof, yeah, I don't have it.
Oh no.
But I do have something I wanna kind of talk about.
All right.
If that's okay.
Go ahead.
Right quick, can I make a widget for Aaron's timeout stuff?
Please do. And
Okay.
Actually, that's a great idea. I should do that. I should make my bot have a command so people can lower his volume and stuff. Oh, genius. I'll figure it out. Go ahead, Seekfine.
Yeah, so Sean, I mean, you know me, we've had conversations in the past. For me, as far as evidence goes, it's a lot of it's self-evident for me. Things like water. I know y'all have heard these arguments over and over again, but to me, water is one of the slam dunk proofs. That I think y'all kind of struggle with and kind of try to bypass most of the time.
Well,
The behavior. This is not what I want to talk about, mind you. It's just, I'm just, yeah. But yeah, the physics and behavior of water is one of the things that I think is just, as far as me being a flat earther, that's one of the things that I hold true to. So,
can I ask you something real quick about the
yeah,
water?
go
ahead. When you think of the ocean, do you think of the ocean as a one thing? Or do you look at it as the molecules in which makes up the ocean?
Well, water is, there's bonded molecules there. Not as much as a solid, but yeah, it's bonded together.
What do you mean?
As far as the molecules in water,
How are they bonded together?
like
or
H2O,
what does that mean?
H2O, like the
H2O.
bonded molecules.
Well, yeah, that's what makes up water, but that doesn't.
So pretty much you're getting at. I mean, I know you're kind of skipping ahead to, like, I guess you're trying to get at that that gravity would act on these single,
That's
molecules
exactly
that
what I was getting to.
make up.
Mm-hmm.
You can say what you want. That's fine. But the fact still remains that a still body of water will be flat on the surface, level. And if gravity's doing anything to that still body of water, it's making it level and therefore flat on the surface.
No.
So, I mean, you can have that, but, gravity makes water level, aka flat on the surface. So,
is flat and level the same?
it's not the same. No, but they're synonymous. So,
well, does
it's not the same.
So then, when you say flat and level, you're not saying, and you say it's synonymous, you're not actually saying it's the same thing or that it's evidence for being the same. It's just how you look at it.
When he says flat, he means horizontal and level is what he's getting at. Because
a level liquid, a level liquid
flat
is
can be vertical, flat can be at an angle, anything can be flat. It doesn't matter if it's a flat surface. You can tilt it to the side; it'll still be flat. But
it wouldn't be level. Anything tilted.
So say horizontal and level.
Yeah, no, horizontal and flat, maybe. Yeah,
well, you would agree
level
that
implies other things.
Wouldn't you guys agree that anything tilted would therefore not be level?
Who says it is if it's tilted?
Well, y'all say the sphere is tilted. So we got curve and tilt.
Well, it would
and level all being.
It would depend on my position relative to the object we are discussing.
The vector where you're standing on, 90 degrees.
Yeah, the guy speaking, thanks. You just gave him all the bait they needed right there. Thank you.
What do you mean?
You said on a sphere, when it's curved, is that level? Right? and they came back with you with 4 answers. Yes, that's how it is.
Well, I mean, that's fine. If that's what y'all want to believe, I mean, y'all free to believe what you want.
No. It's not what they believe. That's reality to them, and to you and me. If
No,
you know,
we can grasp the scale. The scale is a big elephant in the room that you guys cannot visualize sometimes. We're talking about something gigantic as Earth. You're not talking about like you grabbing a ball in your hand and you saying flat and level and all this shit. We gotta see a scale. Like we're standing on the ground a couple 100 foot high. A scale is an issue, guys. You gotta think about it.
It would
So
be
what about
And
the
that's it.
scale? What
Okay,
about
well, the actual tilt of of Earth, it's not doesn't have anything to do with how
Flat or
ground or
levelness or horizontal. It
how
has
that
nothing to
works.
do with
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's actually what I wanted to talk about is kind of perspective and how that you guys kind of hijack that and call that curvature.
Level is
Yeah.
simple.
Hey,
Hang-
stop it!
One
Don't
at a
say
time,
that
guys.
shit.
One at a time.
Listen.
Hang on, Aaron. First,
Well,
before
I
we
want to
start
talk to
that,
my man.
I know,
I
but
want to talk to my
before
man
I
and
get
tell
it.
him don't say that shit.
Now,
Come on.
while we start, hang on. Seek and find. Can you define perspective in the sense that, and I ask that because perspective isn't a description or explanation for anything. So when you say perspective, it's not explaining what you mean or how that works.
Well, it has a few definitions, but when we're talking about it in the case of the Earth, we're talking about making observations over a distance and how your eyes work and function.
Okay.
When you're making these observations, there's obvious phenomena that go on when you're with optics when you're making an observation over a distance.
Okay.
And you
But
guys deny this stuff, and I don't understand. I mean, I understand why because you have to,
but
but
is that
Sir, listen.
it's
observation?
really
Is that
it's really just
observation?
plain out. It's just plain out denial
Okay.
of
Is that
perspective.
when you make that observation? Does your perspective explain why you're seeing that?
Yeah. So like I said before, over say we're just making an observation over water. There's no boat, no nothing. It's just over water. You see clouds in the sky that appear to touch the water. The clouds are not really touching the surface of the water. We all know that. But it appears that way, and that's due purely to perspective. It has nothing to do with anything but your perspective.
Okay, but
And
what
see,
is
you
our
guys, hold
what
on,
is
hold
our
on,
perspective
hold on,
seeing?
hold on.
What is that called?
Because I've heard countless numbers of times that you guys try to act like perspective is just as something moves away from you, it gets smaller, which is part of it. It is part of perspective, but that's not what I'm talking about. Like if you were in an all whited out room, right, and you move something away, like y'all all seen the Matrix, right? You see Neo in that all whited out room. If you're in that room and you move something away from your face, and it gets farther and farther away from you, yeah, that's perspective in the sense of it's going to get smaller and then vanish into a point. I'm talking about the sky appearing to meet the ground. When you throw in terrain, you're not in an all whited out room. You throw in terrain and you have a sky and atmosphere that's playing part in your observation. That's the perspective that I'm talking about and what that phenomenon is doing to what we observe over distance.
Yes, and in that scenario, are the clouds at so the horizon is what, roughly 3 some odd miles away from you? Are those clouds at the same distance, or are they farther away?
I'm sorry, you kind of broke up there. Is that crash?
You were right in the very beginning.
So in that definition, the horizon is what, roughly 3 miles away for the average person standing at sea level? Are the clouds 3 miles away too, or do we know for a fact that they are farther away than that?
No, I mean the way I see it, I've heard. I think somebody say 50 miles or something that these clouds are. I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
but anyway,
yeah. Listen, the man talking. Seek
yeah.
and
What's
find.
up, man?
Your proper answer to Crassus right there should be like, yeah. So if that is the horizon and those clouds that I see that are 100 miles away, they should be wrapping around.
Yeah, those are clouds that are local to you. Like there's clouds behind that probably.
He's talking about the ones behind that line that we're talking about. You and me, we're on the same page. Me and you. But those clouds that you're talking about going down to perspective, right? He's saying that he wants to know how far you can see to that hard line, and he said about 3 miles. Crashes did,
If we're
and
observing over
so you
water
say yes.
casino.
Those clouds are actually 100 miles away, but they're not wrapping
Who
over
said they're
a
100
ball.
miles away?
Yeah,
Jose is
Well,
wrapping around a ball.
moving.
It's kind of a misconception. That's
Yeah,
where you guys are lacking. Wrapping around a ball.
Aaron, just hang tight
Jose,
for a
if there's
second.
a
No,
hard line,
Aaron,
Jose,
Aaron.
then everything else has to fall behind that
No,
line,
no.
right?
See, that's again, you're talking about a physical line. The horizon is not a physical line. And
Okay.
why would you be able to see just as far? You realize that the sky
Yeah,
is
but why
there's
is it
lot
not
more
a physical
sky
line? It's
because it changes depending on your observer height.
because
Meaning
of perspective,
meaning
right?
if it's if it was a physical line, I could go 3.5 miles out there and I'm gonna be at my horizon. That's not
We're
how it
saying it's
works.
not a physical line. It's a perspective point, is what we're saying.
And
But on the
what
ball,
explains
it has to be a hard line, right?
what? Why do you keep
No,
saying that?
no,
Yeah.
it's the horizon is not a hard
Yeah,
line.
that doesn't even make sense. It's not even like flat earthers don't
But
even
if
would
you're
say that.
So how far away is the horizon?
Depending on your elevation,
6 foot tall, on the beach, on the shore,
three
foot in
and
the
a half
water.
miles.
Okay, so I can see clouds further on than that, right?
exactly my point with this was if you're going to converge it and use lines of convergence like drawing perspective in a comic book, the actual conversion point would be beyond where the horizon stops for you
Well,
as
see,
seeing.
that's the thing,
Because
Crashes, is
it's not
that
a hard line.
you can
That's
see.
what I'm saying.
Hold on, bro. You can
Yeah.
see farther through the atmosphere than you can through water. Now, say when you're making this observation that say it was water down below you, and say it was like steel or something up above you. It wasn't atmosphere. Okay, then the things would converge at a hard point or whatever, and it would probably be around eye level. But because it's the atmosphere and it's something that you can see through, and you can see through this a lot farther than you can water.
Why do
Okay,
you say?
and there's something that.
I'm
Go,
sorry.
go ahead.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say
I mean,
why do you say see through water? What does that have to do with it?
Water
look,
vapor,
water.
That was
evaporation.
to seek and find, Aaron. Thank you.
So hold on, Sean. Just to get some clarification
Mhm.
here. Do you agree that with what I'm saying about perspective and the phenomenon that happens with the way our eyes function? Do you agree with anything that I've said?
I
Yes,
agree with it
yeah,
to a certain point.
yeah.
What I
Before we go too
Hang on,
far, I want to make a
hang on,
quick.
guys.
Go ahead.
Hang on. I agree with you in a sense of yes, your perspective is why you see things the way you're seeing it, but there are explanations for what you're seeing. That's where I think the difference in what we're seeing or what we're thinking this is how this conversation needs to be. When you see that, you're talking about the convergent line. There's an explanation for it. There's a reason for it, and that's not what you're seeing isn't perspective. Your perspective sees the convergent lines. There's a reason why it appears that way. That's kind of
Yeah, it's just purely just because of the way our eyes work. Now,
okay, but that's no. What
That's
we
not it.
see,
If you were talking about
hang on. What we see is because of our eye, how our eyes work. What is explained and what is in reality is has nothing to do, or has no, I shouldn't say has nothing to do, is not the sole explanation for our perspective. There are things you need, tools, help.
I got a quick point to make to Aaron before we go too far, because Aaron mentioned a point. He said, like, oh, a 6-foot person standing in the beach, how far is the horizon? Around 3.5 miles. Yes, I agree. And then Aaron said, like, why don't we see why are the clouds are not disappearing like at 3 miles or whatever, or something like that? Just think about 6 foot high, 3.5 miles horizon. How high are the clouds? 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet? Do the math, Aaron. 10,000 feet, and then see where the the clouds are going to meet the horizon. That's what you're going to see. Just think about how high you are at 3.5 miles, the
It's an
horizon. Think
arbitrary
about how
point.
high the
It's
It's
clouds
an
not.
are.
It's not.
arbitrary
No, it's
point.
not. No, it's not at all. It's
Sean G,
it's
Sean G,
it's 100%
Sean G, I'd
what
like
he
to
wasn't
talk to
taking into
Jose and say,
consideration.
Jose, you're exactly right. At 6 foot tall, on a let's say mean sea level, and you can only see a certain distance, but those clouds do come down to that same point as the water
No,
comes up.
no, because the clouds are not 6 foot high. The clouds are not in your eyes. The clouds are
Yeah,
thousands of feet
I'll
high.
share. Let me share a picture because
Can I?
But
I
Jose,
mean,
what I'm saying is
y'all kind of.
in our
it's
view,
Aaron.
what we see is those clouds coming
All right,
down
Aaron. I can hear you
to the
get. I can see
horizon.
you. I can.
So what
I
I
can
want to
hear
ask,
you smiling.
I
So
think
stop.
Jose, no,
Yeah, because
Sean,
I'm
I
getting.
think I know
You're
Jose's
side like you're
get
literally just taking over so you can find.
I mean, this
real
is
quick.
why I usually don't join
I've
these
been
panels
quiet.
where it's got
I've
a whole
been
bunch of
quiet for a
people on it.
while.
Well, that's the problem,
Don't
Seeking
get-
Fine. He's a fucking flat Earth apologetic. He's just a
come on.
troll
I've
right
been
now.
quiet. So
No, you're
Jose,
not. Stop, damn
are
it.
you kind
No,
of
Aaron,
saying?
shut up. Damn, dude. Like, God. You take it too far. Just stop. This can take real quick. This is for Aaron. Aaron, just look and listen. In this image, what is there more of? That is why you see clouds that are further away than the horizon. Thank you. That's how simple that was the answer, Aaron. Now you have nothing to say. Go ahead and seek fine. I apologize.
Wait, what? Could you bring that back up? Yeah, bring that picture back up.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, let's chop it up a bit about the picture.
Okay, so I was referring to. Remember, he asked why or how could it be like, or Jose answered that question of how it could be, or damn it, Aaron got me frustrated. Aaron asked, why aren't clouds being cut off at the same distance? Well, it's pretty obvious because
You're comparing atmosphere to water. That's why.
No, I'm comparing
you're comparing air to water.
I'm comparing your altitude.
Yeah, this picture looks like it's not. It may be tilted up or kind of pointed higher. It's obvious that the sky is taking up more than the water.
It wouldn't make any difference, brother.
God, I wish I would have brought my drone with me today.
Like literally.
Okay, so
like
that horizon point is the leading edge of the curve, correct?
Hang on.
At the leading edge of the curve.
Wait.
And y'all,
no,
in your eyes.
Look down. Look at your feet. That's where the curve starts for you.
Okay, so Sean, let me ask you something, man. Let me ask you something real quick. When you're making this observation right here, and you're standing on the beach, right?
Yep.
That water looks like it's not at eye level. Maybe let's say it comes up to your mouth or your nose. Why is that? It's really below your feet. Why is it that it appears to come up close to eye level?
Yes, let's continue that thought process. Because if you ask,
I was asking Sean, bro. I was asking Sean.
Well,
I was asking Sean.
I would say it would appear to. That's about as good as it's gonna get because we know
Perspective,
it doesn't.
right? Just say perspective. Why you can't just say perspective? See, this is what I'm talking about with y'all dancing.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's your perspective. I wasn't trying to work around it. Yeah.
Okay, so is perspective calculated in the curvature calculations that y'all use?
No.
Do you take that into account? Because I'm just saying, like, why is this water appearing to ramp up? If this isn't the leading edge of the curve, y'all taking calculations from this horizon.
Wait. No. Okay. You got me confused now. What are you?
Sean,
that
throw
horizon isn't a fixed point. It's not a physical location.
I'm in, Aaron. I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, so when you say boats go over the curve, you have to deal with the phenomena first of this water ramping up. You're saying that you don't understand why this way. I'm telling you, it's because of the way your eyes work in perspective. So you have something in the foreground. It's called foreshortening, right? It's this water that's in this foreground. There's really water behind it, stretching on behind it, but you can't see it. You're just seeing the water that's in the foreground.
Why?
There's where you're going to have obstruction. Once that boat gets to that point, it's going to start disappearing bottom up because you can see through atmosphere way further than you can see through the water at that point.
So, I like how you throw these little key phrases, ramping up.
Saying that
it has to do with
Are you
angles.
saying that the water is actually ramping up then?
No, it's due to perspective. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. The
Yeah,
horizon
okay,
is already
that's-
there because of the
that's
way
the
your
thing.
eyes work.
Is
this-
that's the thing? Is it rising at all?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's rising due to perspective. This is what I did in my tutorial. If you've watched my tutorial, I walked through the fact that this is what I'll go through tomorrow on Jose's channel when I show you my very first picture that has the lavender and salmon colored bands. I called them aqua bands because they were on the water and they were different strips and different depths. That is, different distances. Each of those represented the water extending or ramping up. Who's Seek and Find? As Seek and Find is saying it's ramping up, that's the description he's giving to it, extending into the distance. At one point in my picture, there's no more light for us to see the water continue to do that. And that's what he's saying happens when you get to that point where you can't see any farther. The water is still doing that. You just can't see it.
Right. Correct.
Bingo.
If you actually mapped out where your convergence point, let's go back to the Matrix hall room, for example. If you set up a perfectly flat level square room and extended it all the way out until the actual points of perspective converged, where would that convergence line be?
It's not going to be uniform. It's going to change with every single day and every single hour. It's not.
No,
uniform.
It's gonna be in the paper you draw it or the picture you take. That's where the point is gonna be. That's it.
So
Yeah.
you're saying like in a long hallway, if I stretch this hallway out for forever or whatever,
Yes.
how far away would the convergence point be?
From your eye level, where would your convergence point be due strictly to perspective? Eliminating.
I'm sorry, bro. Did you say yes? That's what you
Yeah,
meant? 'Cause I didn't
yeah.
hear you.
If you were in a long hallway with no atmospheric conditions and we knew for a fact it was perfectly flat and square and level all the way through, where does your convergence point actually end up being?
Oh, I don't know what it would be in those conditions, but I'm guessing that they've mapped out or they know what the conditions are normally like on like a day. And you're making these observations, like I said, over water. You have atmosphere, which is not like in a room where you have uniformity. You know what I'm saying? The walls are the same as the ceiling and the floor converging together. You don't have that when you're making.
I know what it's gonna be. Can I answer quick? Can I answer really quick where that point
You
is gonna be?
understand that though? You understand what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah, but let me answer that one really quick because I'm gonna stay on mute. That point is gonna be, and it just came to my mind, and I'm gonna run with it from now on, moving forward. Always, the point of convergence is gonna be in the paper, the computer program, the picture that you draw it in, because that's nothing physical. It's just a visual thing. If you draw it, there's the point. If you don't draw it, if you don't add it up, if you don't add that point physically, you in a point with a little keyboard or something or a pen or a pencil, there's no point, period. And I'm going to run with it. I'll mute myself.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't see any relevance in talking about being in a room with no atmosphere. That's completely irrelevant. You just might as well talk about space-time cloth folding and bending and whatever.
Okay. That's the thing.
Yeah, so basically, you know, what I'm trying to get at is the foreshortening that happens due to perspective, the blockage of the foreground that is immediately in front of you. It's happening due to the way your eyes work. When that boat gets to that certain point, right? You can see through atmosphere farther than you can see through, say, the water, or if it was the ground, whatever. I mean, we use water.
I don't see why you keep saying that.
The water appears to ramp up due to perspective.
But
that is causing obstruction at a distance due to foreshortening. Yes.
Okay, does it? Does it rise?
It's called foreshortening, man.
Okay. Foreshortening does not make something rise.
Yes.
Even using foreshortening, anything on top of the water would still be on top of the water.
It doesn't. It's not an obstruction. Like
it's on top of the water. It's on top of the water. It's moving away from you. That's what's going on.
laser band is the obstruction.
In true perspective, if you were just making a drawing, the boat or whatever it would be would still always be on top of the water, even though its angular size
No,
continually
that's
reduced.
incorrect. That is incorrect.
Can anybody see my screen?
Yeah, so this is what he
Yeah.
was talking about, like
Yeah.
a long cord.
Let me, so everyone knows, this is the definition for foreshortening. Portray or show an object or view as closer than it is, or as having less depth or distance, as an effect of perspective and or angle of vision. Nothing about obstruction. Does not hide.
Angle of vision. They said angle of vision in there, right?
Yeah, it's not obstruction.
Foreshortening due to, read it one more time.
Portray or show an object or view as closer than it is, or as having less depth or distance, as an effect of perspective perspective or the angle of vision. Again, has nothing to do with obstruction.
Okay, so like I said, when you're making that, if you could pull that picture, or who's this sharing it? Maybe they want to say something.
Erebus. Let me pin you over.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
There you go.
Yeah, y'all are literally, I've already done this. All right. Unfortunately, I can't screen share because I don't know. There's something about if I go online on my computer, it doesn't do it. Anyway, here's the boat. Here's some blocks. We're going to go with this first. All right. Let me grab my handy dandy little tool here for a second. Let me click on this real quick. All right.
So before you get started, can I ask a question?
Sure.
All right, this corridor that you're showing is uniform on all sides. When you make an observation over water, is it uniform on all sides?
No, a better question would be, is there any atmosphere in his...
Right. I mean, that's what I'm getting at, but the uniformity that you have when you're looking down a long corridor is not the same when you're making an observation over water and atmosphere.
He's not showing a corridor. He's just showing a perspective view to a point. And is there any atmosphere in your...
That's irrelevant at this point.
Okay, go ahead, man. Sorry.
Okay,
go ahead.
okay, so...
No, it's not.
Travis.
Yes, it is.
Come on.
Let's hear him out real quick.
Saying doesn't change anything. All right, boats.
So this is basically pointless.
Aaron, shut up.
I'll say it. It's pointless.
Are you noticing a pattern?
Yeah.
What are you noticing? Anything?
Yeah, that the boat doesn't have obstruction at all.
Okay, you know what? I really do not like to express myself by calling names.
Don't really care.
But you guys, the way that you
Travis,
are talking
don't do
right
it.
now, I'm
Travis,
not going to. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
You see how far those boats are, right?
Okay, do this with atmosphere in the real
that
world.
is actually irrelevant at this point in time.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Hang on. How about this?
Saying otherwise doesn't change that.
Yeah, let's.
Hang on, Travis. Hang on, doesn't change anything either.
Travis and Erebus, and definitely Aaron, stop. Look at this just real quick. Understand something. The image we're looking at, you're saying add atmosphere. All atmosphere is going to do is change the visibility, maybe, change the way the light bounces off of here and there, but none of those have anything to do with the convergent line. That's
completely ignorant, Sean. That's
how about this? It's got atmosphere. It has atmosphere.
Sean, hold on. Travis, hold on. Sean, I'd also like to point out that his perspective view did not show the foreground ship bigger than the foreground ship, right? So we were looking above all those ships, and all he did was zoom in above all the ships. That's all he did.
Show me something that is converging, has a convergent line.
Okay, so there's a ship in front of me. So let's go.
It has obstruction.
Let's look out. You live on the sea. There's a ship in front of you, right there, a big old tanker. There's one behind it and one behind that. And if you zoom in on just straight when you're standing on the beach, what are you going to do? You're going to get a full view of the only ship in front of you. That's it. He was showing a
Wait.
perspective
So you've
from
now
above.
you've now
What he was
added
doing.
a object to give obstruction. Good
Hold
job,
on,
Aaron.
hold
That
on.
has nothing to do with
I
the
would like
conversation.
I would like to see his presentation again. Let me see it one more time. If I'm going above the first ship in front of me.
What do you mean by going above it?
Doesn't mean anything. He's controlling.
No.
He's making the idea that because of perspective,
No.
that perspective and the way he's thinking,
Raise that first ship and the second ship up to the horizon line. Raise it up to the horizon line. Raise those first two ships up to the horizon line.
No,
Okay,
because
so never
dare
mind.
you.
Aaron,
I
stupider than I
dare
thought he was.
hey, Aaron, stop. 'cause
They
I'm
are
done
being
here.
raised up.
It's ridiculous. No,
That's
what
the
he wants you to,
fun part.
No, what he wants you to do
No,
is
I
put
heard it.
boats in front of other boats, so you can say, "Look,
I did.
obstruction."
Well, I did technically. On the first one with the like extending all the way, the actual perspective one.
Put all of the viewing objects on the horizon line.
No, I'm
Yeah,
gonna make
he
this
does.
a very simple situation. Aaron, I want you to do me a favor.
Okay.
Show me where obstruction is here
Where?
in this picture. Seek and find, Travis. You guys are more than welcome to
Zoom in to the convergence.
That's right. Yeah. Just
zoom
that
in
looks
to
like
the
a
convergence. Are you okay?
that looks like a badass
Yeah, all the way
place.
to that pinprick. All the way to the pinprick.
And
Well, 500 I still can't.
Sean,
But let me
Sean,
go
I
through
won't.
this.
And
There
listen,
is no.
This is
Sorry,
this
there
is
is no
irrelevant
obstruction.
with
Aaron, 10 minutes, dude. Fuck.
And just out of curiosity, I'm still wondering, how is it that the laws of perspective don't work on the surface of the Earth?
They do. What are you talking about?
No, not the way you explain it, please. Because the way you explain it is perspective. If things go out, suddenly the land jumps up in front of something to obscure it, or the water.
Nope. No one ever. I have never said that. I have
Really?
never said
Then
that.
explain how things disappear from the bottom up.
They don't do that uniformly, for one.
Everything. Okay. Can you think of anything that disappears from the top down on the Earth, on the surface of the Earth?
If you guys kind of listen, I'm telling you what it is.
Yeah, I don't see the point of this question.
Oh, no, Travis. You don't get to get out of it.
I'm not trying to get out of it. Why don't you ask a question that makes sense? It's irrelevant.
You just stated that it doesn't always disappear from the bottom up.
Correct. Okay, so let me qualify what I mean by that.
No. You get to explain the answer. I asked the question.
Yeah, you're asking an inane question.
That is not inane, considering what you just said.
No, let me qualify it because I didn't finish the statement.
He asked a question that you want to answer.
Okay. The answer. Hold on. Listen, I was distracted because I was exchanging my license for my my name tag in the warehouse, and so I was trying to do two things at once. Okay, so when I said that it doesn't always happen that way, the other way that it happens is that the object simply gets swallowed up into the ether band. Okay, so it doesn't always. I'm not really sure why you're cackling like a witch.
Yeah. Right.
I've got plenty of footage on my channel. I've got plenty of footage. I've got plenty of footage on my channel where I show you. I've got plenty of images on my channel where I show you boats going into the ether band and disappearing. They don't disappear from the bottom up. They get swallowed into the band. Okay.
Travis.
Yep.
God, you think logic left-handed people are wicked.
On the way to your ether band, were they disappearing from the bottom up?
No, that's what I'm saying. No.
Yeah. And did you raise an elevation to get them out of the ether band?
No, I stayed in the same place. I did
So-
not move.
So for you, all it is just atmospheric effect.
I'm not sure why you're saying all it is. No, it's perspective
Yes,
plus that.
your ether band is nothing more than an atmospheric effect. That's it.
It's,
Ta-da!
yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure why you're saying ta-da. Wake up and smell the coffee. That's right.
Yeah, here's the problem, though.
There is no problem. The
Oh,
ether
yes, it is.
band. No, the ether
Because
band
once
is the
again-
only reason why obstruction
Yeah,
happens.
you keep saying this, but that doesn't happen. Because
Yes,
you know
it
why?
does.
Because an ether band would not actually happen
Well,
on.
how about this? Hang
flat
on,
Earth.
Erebus.
No,
hang on,
that's impossible
Travis,
to say.
Travis, hang on, stop. Here's
Go
the
ahead.
problem. You're saying ether band, and again, I'm assuming tomorrow will clarify everything. But when you say ether band, all I hear you say is something. It has no explanation. It doesn't have a reference. It doesn't have a measurement. It doesn't have. There's nothing that you can explain it by. So how are you using it as the reason for?
Because he doesn't want to say atmosphere.
No, that's not it at all. I've already
Oh.
said this on Jose's channel. I
How
said,
tall is the ether band?
okay, I said that
How
I have,
tall is the ether band?
I've already answered this on Jose's channel as well.
I'm asking. I'm not on Jose's channel right now.
It's not it's not you can't qualify it that way. You can't.
Then you
It's
can't
it's
qualify
not it's not objective.
It's not objective. That makes
No.
no sense whatsoever.
Okay, that's because you think
He's
that
saying
seven
that,
o-
that
it
means it's
always
not
varies.
scientific.
It's never going to be the
that's
same. It's
because
always varied.
that's right. That's because you think that 7/6R is actually concrete and
Dude,
and
I'm coming off of the position
tangible.
that the Earth is flat. So
well, I don't
if
know
it's
who I'm talking
flat,
to. So
then there's a lot of problems with what you're saying. And
No,
one of the
there's
main
not.
problems, is that if the Earth were flat, the horizon would be. Let's see now. You're in
The Chesapeake area.
Maryland, right? Where's
Maryland?
Chesapeake? Boston. Yeah, Maryland. Okay, good. Maryland. Off to the paper, just Earth. Let's do some comparisons here. Where, if you were to look, let's see now, horizon in which direction? Give me a direction.
Excuse me?
Horizon in what direction?
I'm in Havre de Grace. I'm in Havre de Grace, Maryland, right? I'm in Havre de Grace, Maryland.
North, south, east, west.
I'm in Havre de Grace, which is on the west side of the Chesapeake in that location, okay?
Okay. Are you looking north, south, east, or west?
I'm looking east and southeast and south.
South. Okay, now, what is southeast on the flat Earth map?
Okay. It's in the same direction that it is
No,
if you were
I'm
standing.
sorry.
Yeah. No,
That
don't say
really
no.
wouldn't work.
Travis,
No, no.
Travis,
Okay, if-
stop it. He's
Go ahead.
derailing you from
No,
your main
I'm actually
point.
coming. I'm
Just
actually going.
stop it.
Okay, here I'll
Stop
go
it.
off. I have a. I'm gonna go off on a tangent here.
Yeah,
you
let
already
him do
You
all this
already
fucking
did.
bullshit.
Oh no,
Travis.
no. I mean a
Don't-
literal tangent. I have a
Don't entertain. Don't entertain
Okay.
Erebus right now. Okay.
Aaron, until you can
Wait,
stop
wait,
taking
yeah.
people advantage, you can't talk.
Yeah, for real, Aaron. What the fuck? Like, dude. Erebus,
Tangent-
continue.
Okay, so I'm actually measuring a horizon at about 12,000 miles. If the Earth
What?
were flat.
Yeah, see,
If
you listen
Earth
to
were
nothing I
flat.
said, I guess, Erebus.
Yeah.
Oh,
The,
no.
the horizon is there solely
Oh,
due to perspective.
did I-
Let me
did I
ask you a
forget-
question.
Did
Let
I
me ask you a
mention that
What
was
are you
all
even
water?
talking about?
Let-
What are you
let me
even
ask you a
talking
question,
about?
Erebus.
All water.
Can I ask you a question, man?
Sure.
On your model, in the heliocentric model, right?
I'm not on the heliocentric model, so please stop that.
Okay,
You
on
can
a
cut
sphere,
that off
on a
right there.
sphere. You say we're on a
Still not-
sphere. So on a
still not-
sphere, is our
Yeah.
perspective always from the top of the ball?
What are you talking about? No.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult to question, Erebus. It's pretty simple. I
Technically,
understand it.
No.
It's funny
it
how,
wouldn't be.
you know, just
The
answer
answer would be
it.
no.
Okay, so where's your perspective from on a sphere?
See, that's where you see. That's okay. When you say perspective from a sphere, what do you think that means?
Everybody's perspective is the same on a sphere, right? It's like it's from the top of the sphere.
Functionally, yes.
Thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
no, it's also at any degree along the 360 degree possibilities.
And also on a sphere, any place is just as good as any other.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm off to a oddball angle. Pick one. I don't give a shit.
So why? So if it's always from like it's if you just picture standing on the top.
What
of
do you
the ball,
think the top is?
It could be anywhere. Okay, on a sphere, it could be anywhere.
So you understand that on a sphere, a top could be anywhere, right?
Yeah, but from that perspective, as soon as you rise in elevation, y'all saying the horizon. I mean, the horizon is rising. Maybe not to eye level, but it does rise.
No.
It shouldn't rise at all on a sphere. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay, this is a fundamental misunderstanding of how perspective works. All right, I'll walk you through a real quick scenario as far as like how you can kind of look at perspective in a better way. All right, you've been in traffic before, right? With a car in front of you that's close to your make and model.
Yep.
Okay, and when you're staring straight ahead, what are you looking at?
His license plate.
That's down.
I'm a safe driver, so I usually stop with one space between me and the next car so I can see his license plate.
That is still down. The license plate is still below your eye level.
You asked me a question. I answered your question.
Pay attention to the question. I said.
I did. You said, where are you looking?
Straight ahead. Not down, not up, not left, right. Straight ahead.
His rear view mirror.
No, that's off to the right.
Damn.
Why don't you just
the back of the person's car seat?
Let's move this along.
You're in the back of you're sitting in your car seat, and that person's in their car seat. If you're looking at that person's car seat, you're looking at the back of your own head.
I'm confused. What are we talking about now?
Can you make a point, please?
Yeah. Okay. Now, if the when the car goes off in the distance ahead of you, right?
Wait, what color is the third car?
Now,
Doesn't matter.
Now, does that car rise at all? The further away it gets from you, do you have to look up to see it?
I don't have to look up to see the horizon at all. I look straight ahead and there it is.
No, you're looking down at a horizon.
No, I'm not. Looking straight ahead.
Like you're looking
Wait.
down
Are you saying that it's at eye level, Travis?
In my experience, I look straight ahead and see the horizon.
But is it eye level?
In my experience, I look straight ahead, which according to Erebus would discount looking down.
You're not looking straight ahead when you're looking at the horizon.
You can't tell me what I'm doing.
Again,
yes, I can.
Are you
get a theodolite?
Are you saying that? Hang on. Are you saying that the horizon rises to eye level, Travis?
I don't know how to say it any clearer, Sean.
Well,
when I look straight ahead, when I look straight ahead, I see the horizon. I just look and see it.
Okay.
Can I interject here? Can I interject?
No. Do you know what your eye, what straight ahead would be if you say a theodolite? You'd understand what that.
It means down, right, Sean? So my 10 minutes is up, right?
No, you just shut up. Hang on. God damn it!
Every time you interrupt it,
that was very good. Okay. Aaron, you were very, very well behaved.
Yeah, but then he cuts off for blah 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 in the middle of what I'm trying to say. Okay, so when you look out at the horizon, is ocean level at your eye level or not?
Well, if you're gonna try to say that it's not at your eye level because it's curving away from you.
Hey, hold on. Let Sean talk.
Bro, like what's wrong with you, man?
Listen. Seek and find. Just stay back for 1 minute. Let Sean talk.
Seek and find. Please finish talking. And Aaron, shut up.
If the point you guys are trying to make is that when you look out at the horizon, that it's below your eye level, and that's because it's curvature. Curvature on a sphere.
No.
Curves exponentially.
Sean, this is going to take forever. Seek and find. Just sit back for a minute.
This is your last fucking warning, Aaron. Shut up, sit back, wait until someone asks you a question. How about that?
I have a good point, Sean.
I know you don't.
This is personal. This is personal. I'm not really sure why you're jumping all over Aaron.
Because he's literally talking in between someone talking. to rant on something. That's not how it works, Travis.
No, he's not trying to rant. He
Really?
was trying to give you the platform. Yeah, he said.
No,
He
yeah.
said, "Seek and find,
Uh-huh.
take a back seat, and let
Yeah.
Aaron talk." That's what he said.
Yeah. Problem
Look,
was,
and I don't mind
the
being-
problem was, Travis, is I asked Seek and Find a question. Seek and Find started answering the question, and that's when Aaron decided to say that.
I thought
I
you were
don't,
talking
I
to
don't, mind,
Travis.
I don't mind being cut off, but cut me off to make a point. Don't cut me off to talk silly. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what pisses me off. Cut me off and
Sean,
make cut me
Sean,
off.
I'm sorry. I
Don't cut
thought
me
you were
off.
talking to Travis. That's all. I thought you were talking to Travis. You guys were having a discussion. You were explaining to him a certain thing. I'm sorry. I'm back quiet.
Just a quick announcement: the after show from today's show, my show earlier,
Still
is
going
still
on.
going as we
Yeah,
speak.
it's crazy.
It's like almost 10 hours now, I think.
There's like 3 people watching.
Fucking ridiculous.
I lost where we
So,
were at.
yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what we're talking about.
Thanks, guys.
This is
I'd
actually
like to thank
complete.
everyone that decided that their shit was more important than that conversation that was actually being had. But so you can find
No,
basically the
Sean.
question. God damn it! You know what?
Sean, you were talking to Travis about
Jesus
eye level.
fucking Christ!
All right,
I know
go back.
exactly what I was talking about.
Okay.
How
Sorry,
about
I'm
this?
back quiet.
Everybody, fucking mute yourselves, and I'll tell you when to fucking talk. How about that?
You got it, Sean.
You guys need? Fuck. Aaron, you have clearly showed yourself to be a troll. If you don't have something relevant to say, the next time I'm gonna boot you. Why? Because I'm sick of you derailing shit. Anyway, Seek and Find was explaining. You were explaining, or basically the conversation was: does the horizon actually rise to your eye level? And the answer is no. How do we know this? You can get a theodolite, and it will show you that when you look out straight out over the ocean, I don't care what elevation you're at. Well, unless you're at 0, but anything above that, you are looking down at the horizon. I don't care what it appears to do. You are still looking down, is what Erebus was explaining.
So why does it rise at all if you're standing on top of a ball?
Already said it.
Why does it rise?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It's called perspective.
Okay, so when it's below my eye level, it should curve exponentially from
No.
that point, right?
No. Mm-mm.
So
You can't see. You're not seeing
a
far
sphere
enough.
360 degrees curves exponentially.
Maybe if you're in
all
a
the way around.
tiny curve, yeah, in a tiny Earth, yes, like 3 miles circumference, maybe, yeah.
So the reason that it does rise, period, is due to perspective.
It's not.
But
It doesn't rise.
Hold on, but then it doesn't rise at all now. The
So
horizon.
well, first of all, it doesn't. You can say appears to rise, but it does not rise. Because if it did, that means you're saying that the ocean is then above.
We're
ocean
talking
level.
about making measurements from a point that appears to rise. It's just an
Oh,
apparent position.
if you make measurements, it doesn't appear to rise at all.
Can I inject something here real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay. Let me take a quick look at the names. Okay, Seek and Find. Are you able to get a hold of a theodolite?
Yeah, you can get one on the phone.
I mean, like I said, the horizon, the theodolite, you're going to make a measurement looking at the horizon, and the horizon is an arbitrary point. It's there only because due to perspective. That's the only reason.
Are you able to get a hold of a theodolite?
A theodolite doesn't set to the horizon.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. It's just all it does is give you a reference to where you're looking versus your perspective.
And I'm going somewhere with this question, Seek. Do you think you'd be able to get a hold of one?
I mean, if it's readily available to everybody, yes, I could get.
Okay, there are places that do rent them, so it's a possibility. Would you be willing to check into getting one?
You don't have to rent one, dude. You can literally get one on your cell phone.
Well, yeah, a more accurate one would be best.
Okay, so
Yeah, but
Go
what's the
ahead and-
point of all of this?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
don't
Because
understand.
where I'm going with this is, if you can get a hold of one, and would you be willing to take measurements on the horizon or of the horizon dropping as you go up in altitude?
exponentially as I rise.
No, not necessarily exponentially, just continuing to go down the more you go up.
exponentially?
Exponentially would plot out a parabola. We don't live on a parabola. We live on a oblate spheroid.
Sean,
Okay,
Sean,
listen, hold on, just real quick. Go ahead.
Sean, can I tell you about theodolites? Because you know that I've used one too, right?
Okay,
In
what
dirt
about
work, we've all done it.
Okay, what
Well,
about it?
dirt workers. So when you're using the example of using a theodolite, let's say over on, let's say mean sea level, because we can't use it over terrain, obviously.
Why? What?
Well, no. Well, because you don't know what you're pointing at. You know, there's no
You're not-
horizon in the mount. When the mountains are in the background, you're not pointing at, you know,
What is a
a
theodolite?
horizon. Well, which
What is a
one do you
theodolite?
want to use? Ah,
Find the
Jesus.
basic theodolite.
The optical device that has crosshairs that pinpoints a level trajectory from where its plumb bob is. You ever use the plumb bob on a satellite? Yes, I have. And
Jesus Christ.
it shoots a tangent line, basically. Right?
It's a telescope that measures the horizontal and vertical angles. That's all it does.
Yeah. Geometry, exactly. So now you're saying that if we put it on the beach, we have to tip it down to see that hard line, right?
No.
No, he never say that. He never say standing on the beach
I
will
thought you
tilt it
said,
down.
yeah, I thought you said you knew how to use one.
No, he was
Okay.
trying to clarify what you said, because I would have said the same thing, that you would have to, because you're saying that if I look out with my eye, I have to look down to see the horizon. Well, that would
You
be
do.
the same thing that you would. Okay, that would be the same thing that you would do with a theodolite. You would
No,
have
it's
to
not.
aim it down.
No.
No.
Okay.
You set
No.
it 90 degrees.
Yeah, you
It'll
set
be
it
a
at 90 degrees or it's 0, and you would ultimately see that actual level from where you're looking at is not where the horizon will be.
What
Okay,
is
so-
the horizon? What is the horizon?
Okay.
What is the
That's
All right,
horizon?
hold on.
Please
Everybody,
define the
wait.
horizon
Seek and
for me.
find and Aaron.
If
Okay,
I can
Hold on.
continue.
Well, hold
Go
on.
ahead, Shills.
Unpaid. Hold on, please.
Now, Shills was in the
Okay.
Yeah, let unpaid finish.
Well, hang on. I'll yield my time to Plain, but then I would like to follow up after he speaks.
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
Go ahead, Plain.
Okay, I have never used. Right, thank you. I have never used it. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm going over the Delaware Memorial Bridge, and I'm gonna get roboted. So just go ahead.
Okay.
It's a theodolite which bases
Aaron, what I tell you?
it bases
Aaron,
its sight
God
line.
damn it! What the fuck?
Okay, the reason I asked Seek about the theodolite is, would you be willing to acquire a theodolite, rental, purchase, whatever, however, and actually use it to take some measurements and or some sightings?
Yes, I've.
Am I going to be measuring So you're saying the horizon doesn't come into play when I'm using this theodolite?
The theodolite, what it does is it's basically a fancy telescope is all it is. This telescope is designed to shoot straight out at a horizontal
tangent to the curve.
Aaron,
tangent to the curve.
Aaron, shut up.
Just saying.
No,
a tangent to the curve would be shooting straight at the horizon. It's designed to shoot horizontally.
Aaron, please let it.
Can I ask you
a
question real quick before you go? When it shoots out that horizontal line, is that a level line?
Yes, that's the whole point of a theodolite. Is it's a fancy telescope that's designed to find a level platform and then shoot straight out from that horizontally.
A level flat line
from its
Correct.
point. From its
Okay,
point
all right.
on a curve. Yeah, from its point on a curve.
Aaron, I don't need you to help me clarify.
Aaron, you really.
I'm over the bridge.
Yeah, you're not even.
Okay.
Don't know what you're talking about, Aaron. Please stop talking.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So anyway, go ahead, Plain. I'll yield my time to you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I'm going to come at this from a complete ignorance, right? Because I've never used one. So I failed to see the relevance of this, because what is it that you were trying to prove?
Okay, what it gets down to is on a surface of positive curvature. Let's see, I can't remember the exact term for it. It's like steady positive curvature, a sphere. Anytime you look at the boundary between that object and the space beyond, or what we could call atmosphere, it's going to be down from your position. Imagine yourself standing on a sphere that's 10 feet tall. Okay? Anytime you look at the horizon, it's going to be below you. Right?
Sean made very good point of that, saying that when he looks through a theodolite, there is a drop in the horizon. That's what he's saying, right? So the theodolite does make.
All right, I'm just gonna cut through all the bullshit. I'm gonna yield all my time to Aaron. I'm gonna mute myself, and I'm just gonna shut up.
Unpaid chill. You don't have to, because Aaron's gone. He left just miraculously.
Thank you.
All right, so can I interject?
Let Chills get out what he was trying to say. He's had Aaron interrupting for 20 minutes.
Unpaid Chill is going to go ahead and lead this conversation and finish what he has to say, because what he's trying to explain is exactly what keeps being asked in the middle of him explaining it.
Yeah, about these theodolites.
He's not talking right now.
Let me break the ice. Yeah, let me break the ice about the theodolite on page shields. When you are pointing the theodolite and you're looking through the little viewfinder thingy, you're not pointing at the horizon line. All right, go ahead.
Let him finish, because
when you use a theodolite, there's a gradient in the optics, like cross marks in a gun scope. Okay, and I'm simplifying it a lot here. This is not exactly 100% correct, but it gives you kind of an idea of what's happening. So it's like the scope on a rifle. You'll see little marks on that show you how far down off of the level you're looking when you see something in there. If you're set up on the beach at 6 feet high with a theodolite and you look out level, you're going to see the horizon just a little bit below level. Then if you back up off the beach, say, to get 50 meters high, you look out again, it's going to be just a little bit lower. And if you get up to 1,000 meters high, it's going to be a little bit lower still. No matter where you're at on a spheroid, you're going to be looking down at a horizon. And if you're willing to get a theodolite and check that is what you'll see.
That's going to be my point. I had the misconception that when you point the theodolite, you are actually trying to point and aim to the horizon line. So you're not aiming at nothing. You're just looking through the theodolite level. That's it. You're just doing the theodolite level, and then whatever you see is what it is. You're not specifically pointing it to a specific point, right?
Correct. You are aiming it at level.
Thank you. That's it.
You're aiming it at level. You're not aiming at an object.
So what is the horizon?
So
sorry, go ahead, Travis.
Thanks. So what I hear you saying is you're gonna go down to the beach. You're gonna stabilize your theodolite so that it's well, I don't know. It's the legs are.
You'll set it up.
Stable.
You'll set it up properly.
Yeah. So that when you are saying that you're going to set it up geometrically, it's going to be set up properly so that it goes out horizontally at a tangent from your position, and that's a 90-degree angle, right? So it's 90. It's straight up perpendicular and then straight out parallel, right?
Backwards.
What you're saying is perpendicular is up from the ground. Perpendicular
Correct.
is up from the ground.
Correct.
Parallel is out to the horizon.
Correct.
Okay. So what you're saying is then when I look through the theodolite scope, I'm going to see the horizon below that crosshair.
You'll see it just below the center mark. Yes.
Okay. Now, it seems to me that this is simply confirmation bias or begging the question. So if you say, look, I'm seeing this boat and it's disappearing from the bottom up, therefore the Earth is curved, right? You're presupposing the Earth is curved, and then you're looking at a phenomenon and imposing that curvature on the phenomenon.
That doesn't make sense.
It's definitely not begging the question. You can come at it as you don't know what the shape of the Earth is, see what the observation that the other gives you, and draw inferences from there.
Right.
You don't have to assume globe or you don't have to assume globe or plane. You just have to pick which one fits the information.
Okay. I still don't know why this was brought up. Like, was this somebody's argument? Why was this brought up?
Someone was talking about the horizon rising to eye level. The horizon does not do that. In the real world, it doesn't do that. It may appear to do it at times.
But a lot of that's based upon the idea that your vision, your eyes are drawn towards stark contrast, and at the horizon, the starkest contrast that there is visually where you appear to see the ground meet the sky in your mind.
That implies that your eyes are perfectly fine and you are perceiving everything 100% without any use on any fine-tuned tool that can give you more of an accurate measurement of everything.
So what I have to say
Again,
about this,
I don't use. Okay, go ahead, Seeking Fine. Go ahead.
what I have to say about this is, like when you had that corridor, that long corridor that you brought up earlier, with the central point, everything's uniform. That's when the horizon would rise to your eye level. When you're making an observation over water and you have an atmosphere. Now the two variables are the water that's at a distance and the atmosphere that's at a distance. To me, the horizon is slightly below eye level because you can see through the atmosphere farther when we're talking about distance than water at a distance. So it's a slight, the convergence point is slightly lower than your eye level due to that factor. But that's my explanation for it.
Seek, I have a couple of questions for you, if you can entertain me.
Sure.
Okay. If you get a hold of a theodolite and you were to take measurements, say every half mile, and take measurements of a 6-foot tall stick every half mile, and as it goes out further, it goes down, down, and down until it finally disappears. And you look at how much of that stick is disappearing for each of those measurements, and it starts plotting out a curve. Would that convince you that maybe we live on a curved surface?
Well, the question I would have is, if it's a curve and it's truly a curve that's making that stick disappear bottom up, where's the tilt? Now, I know you're going to say, oh, it's only 1 degree of tilt.
It's 1 degree, 69 miles.
Okay, so how many feet is in that 69 miles? That this is, as soon as you know, when you're on something like a sphere, as soon as you start, it's going to tilt, man. As soon as you start going down that curve and moving away from it, the tilt comes with the curve. It's like,
tilt compared to what?
Say it again.
Are you talking about things angling away from you?
Yeah, things moving off into the distance. Yes.
Remember, you can find visualize as a tiny Earth. Visualizes Earth as a tiny Earth. Remember that, guys. You can find. Shout out to you.
By the way, that 69 nautical miles comes out to 419,251.968 feet.
Yeah, so that's a lot of feet, of curvature. That's
which
means
means
right there in that 1 degree.
Which means that 3 degree or that 3 miles is not going to give you enough tilt to worry about. It's going to be a negligible amount.
But it's enough to start hiding the boat halfway up.
The Verrazano Narrows Bridge, the towers for that are approximately 40 millimeters apart, further on the top than at the bottom, and that's over a kilometer long.
So the curve is exponential enough to hide boats, a few miles away, but it's not enough for the tilt. Is that what you're saying?
The tilt is immaterial. What is material?
No, it's not.
What?
Yeah, yes, it really is.
Immaterial.
No, I know that's what you guys say. That's what you guys say. But Seek and Find is giving you guys. When you got listen, hold on. When
no, you hold on.
Ether band.
No,
is something
you
say. The ether band is something you say. What they're talking about is something explained. There's a difference.
I've explained the ether band, Sean.
No, you have not. You're supposed to do
Yeah,
that tomorrow.
I have. No, I've done it before as well. But
okay, so
what
then
Seek and Find, what
then
Seek and
explain
Find brought up is an important part of this discussion. Okay, if you claim that a ship is hidden half and half, the scale of that ship should also be smaller, and you wouldn't be able to. The dimensions don't work out to be the same. The amount that the ship is cut in half doesn't work for how large the ship is in your view. The ship would have to be
getting smaller.
Excuse me?
The ship is not literally getting smaller.
Travis,
No one said it is. I'm not really sure why anybody brings up such an inane point as if I said something like that.
The assertion that as it goes, it shrinks in the distance, somehow that affects how much quote-unquote tilt it would have.
No, I didn't bring tilt into this at all. I brought in the scaling aspect of the ship.
Yes, it's still to scale. The ship
Not
is
in terms
still to scale.
Not in terms.
Yes.
Not in terms of how far away the ship is. The ship should be smaller if it's missing that much. The ship is too big in your field of view for how much is being obstructed according to the way that you think you're seeing it.
Okay, so are you telling me that the angular size of the ship is wrong? What are you saying?
I'm saying that the atmosphere affects what we see, and we need to be more circumspect about how we interpret what we're seeing and making declarations about it.
All right, we have a 1,000-foot tall structure. How far should it go before it's indistinguishable as a point?
I don't know. I don't care.
So why are you making a baseless assertion then? Because that fits in directly with what you're saying.
No, I'm not making a baseless assertion. I'm addressing a claim
You just
that's
said
been
that. You
made.
just said that its distance going away, we would cease to be able to see it. So how long does it take for it to get small enough where we can't see?
Okay, I'm addressing pictures that have been brought up with the claim that this is due to Earth curve, and I'm responding to those claims. If you're asking me about an abstract building, I don't know
No,
about
you just claimed that the building should. You just claimed that buildings, boats, whatever it is over the horizon should shrink, and they shrink, and they do insofar as they comport with perspective, which is true. The problem is that you're claiming that they should just disappear entirely as one point, or at least it seems that way. Maybe
that's not what I was saying, but
yeah.
Like I said, that's why I took y'all. That's why I took y'all to the.
I'm not talking about you seek and find. I got when it comes to you seek and find. I just don't see why you think that. If you're 6 feet tall, you're looking at an oil tanker. It's disappearing at what 4.5 miles or so. At that point, you're talking about less than a 20th of a degree of tilt away from you. You would never notice that.
But like you said, the curvature is that defined enough to start hiding it. Though.
Of course it is.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make sense to me. And like I said, about
where it starts to disappear,
how things disappear bottom up. It's like you guys aren't getting what I'm trying to say. The foreground that's immediately in front of you may be 3 miles, and it creates that horizon line. Now, once something surpasses that, like I said, if you're in
Oh, did he robot out, or did I just lose everybody?
He roboted.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that this is a peg to hang your hat on in terms of talking about the horizon. Just let me finish. No, just let me finish. I don't try to patronize anyone. If I do, it's because I'm getting my buttons pushed. But I really try not to just condescend and talk down. Okay. So my point is that the horizon is not a fixed point, and it changes with the whims and the fancies.
That's your assertion.
Go ahead. What did you want to say something?
Yeah,
I thought I was talking. I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you?
Well, if you're gonna make
actually, but that's neither here nor there.
Excuse me?
Several times. You love to interrupt people. That's neither here nor there. A couple interjections are going to be okay. You can continue on if you want.
Hey, my
Or-
bad.
Or you
Can
can
y'all
just
hear me?
cry about it if you like to.
Am I back? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, my bad. I knocked into my mic and it said to restart it. What I was trying to get at is the phenomenon, okay, of the way our eyes work and optics work when we're making an observation over distance. The foreground, the water that you see before it gets to that horizon line, that is what is obstructing things over a distance. Now, the reason for it rising like that is solely due to perspective. It has nothing to do with the geometry of anything. We know what the water's doing, fellas. We know what the water's doing. We know water is a natural level. We know it's not actually rising. It's just due to our perspective and the way our eyes work. So once the boat or whatever you're watching go out to that convergence point, gets there, and it starts moving away from you linearly, you can see through atmosphere. The atmosphere and the water are not the same opacity. You know what I'm saying? You can see through the atmosphere further than you can through a solid. The water is solid in this example. Now,
I'm sorry, I have to. You keep talking about looking through water.
Yeah, you can't see through water at a distance. You might as well say it's a solid object. You know what I'm saying? It's.
I get what you're saying, but why is it relevant?
Why is it relevant?
Yes.
You're making an observation over distance. You're wondering why things disappear bottom up. It's not curvature. We know the water's not curving. We know that.
Wait, no.
No, you don't know that.
Yes,
Okay,
we do.
so
You do not know that.
Let's
You
go
can
off-
assert that, but you don't know that.
I could. Okay, so low viscous fluids are natural levels. Everyone agree?
Got that? No. Wait. Just imagine it's not water. Just imagine it's not water. Just pretend the water's stopped. Just for this purpose, it's now all solid, just for shits and giggles. Okay, because in your explanation, that's exactly what it would be anyway. Okay, is the ship on the water?
Yes.
Okay. If the Earth were flat and the ship was on top of the water and it went away from you, it's still on top of the water, right?
Yep.
Okay. And it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. It's still sitting on top of the water, and you can see say if your convergence line is the horizon, and the horizon is thousands upon thousands upon thousands of miles away, right? Because it's all
No,
flat.
say that last part again. What's
It's
thousands
all
of miles
flat.
away?
The horizon on a flat surface, or on a flat Earth. I can tell you.
Why is the horizon? The horizon is
Thousands
merely
of miles
due to
No.
No, it's not thousands of miles away.
You can't call it object. You can't claim optics because that doesn't come into play in this scenario.
I've never seen a horizon at 1,000 miles.
Why not?
Because of
It's the
optics and the way
atmosphere.
your perspective works. Listen, you have two eyeballs with pupils in the middle of both of them.
Erebus, you have to remember, Seekifine is under the impression
you guys see through spheres. The Earth is not a sphere. You
that
just
parallel lines intersect.
Say it again.
Seekifine's under the impression that parallel lines intersect, apparently.
Okay, so were you the one in the chat talking about concentric circles the other day? Was that you?
No.
Okay,
I don't even know what you're
that wasn't
talking
you. So is that what you're talking? Is that what you're getting at?
No, I'm saying that for perspective to work the way you're saying it, parallel lines would necessarily have to cross.
That's crazy talk. Who says that?
Seekifine is applying that.
No,
idea.
he's not. No, he's not.
If the horizon rises to eye level, it necessarily must cross.
I even prefaced my statement by saying maybe it doesn't rise all the way to eye level because I know y'all like to jump all over that. You know, the fact is that it's rising. The phenomenon is that it's rising. The water
That is
that is
incorrect.
really below your feet appears to rise. Why is that?
Because it's called angular.
It's called perspective, and you guys deny it.
It reduces in angular size.
Nobody denies perspective.
Yeah, when no
Deny it does what you say it does.
I agree with you guys. When y'all throw out that equation that says that something gets smaller as it moves away from you, that's true. If you were in an all whited out room and that was it,
So,
that doesn't change. You know,
so I'd like to ask you again, Seek. Would you be willing to get a theodolite and take those measurements?
of the arbitrary horizon.
It's not
There is no
arbitrary.
it's not a matter of an arbitrary horizon. It's a matter of setting it up properly so that it shoots out at level, and then look how far below level that horizon appears to be.
Yeah, and
it's
it'll
irrelevant.
move as I move because it's due to me and my eyeballs. It'll move when I move because it's arbitrary.
So how come it gets lower as you get higher, and it gets higher when you get lower, but it never, ever, ever becomes on a horizontal plane with your eyes? It's always.
I think it has to do
Because
with the nature of
atmosphere at distance changes what you see.
You're talking about looking at a solid, which is the ground, and you're talking about the atmosphere. They're not uniform like when you take it to that long corridor, the long hallway. That's uniformity. We don't have uniformity when we're making a long distance observation over water.
So you're saying that you're not willing to do any actual measurements or observations that would demonstrate a spherical Earth?
That's right. That's right. You're presupposing that it demonstrates and proves your point. That was what I said like 20 minutes ago.
And you were wrong because you can presuppose a flat Earth and get the same measurements.
That's right. That's right.
But
I've said this over and over again.
But guess what? The measurements will support a globe. You can go at it thinking it's flat.
No, the measurements
support it.
The measurements don't support a globe. The measurements are simply the measurements. They when you look out over the horizon using a theodolite. Okay, so let's say for instance, I said if you were trying to teach me about geometry and whatnot and perspective and
we're not here to
showed me and you showed me a line at a distance, and I said that line is perfectly straight. It's smooth. There's no contours to it, whatever. And then you zoom in and you show me, oh wow, actually, when you zoom in close, you can actually see that it's not smooth. That there are lots and lots of contours. I would say, oh, okay. So when I say to you, when I look out straight over the beach, it appears as though the horizon rises to my eye, and you say, well, actually, I can show you something with this theodolite where the horizon actually isn't at where the 90-degree angle is. It's below it. I would just simply go, oh, okay. It doesn't prove that you're on a globe, guys.
It necessarily proves we're on a globe.
No, it doesn't.
It is one part of a larger picture. I asked also if you go to a higher location, you would see that it drops even further, and you could see further out.
That is okay. When you see further out again on a flat Earth, that's due to perspective. Okay, when you are low on the ground, you have one angle that's acute. When you go higher, you increase your angle. It's obtuse. Okay, and then when you go up higher,
hang on, guys. Travis, can I ask you a question? And this goes for Seek and Find as well. Why is it not okay to presuppose the globe?
I don't say that it's not okay to presuppose a globe. I'm pointing out the fact that you are inserting the fact that you think it's a sphere, so that when you come across the information that you're interpreting, you simply marry the two together.
So
can I answer that?
So then
Can I answer that? Hold on, let me get my answer.
Oh, yeah.
Presupposing, if you want to presuppose things, anybody can presuppose. We can all be theorists, man. Like, I call myself a theorist and a philosopher. I don't need the piece of paper for you to deem me as that. I deem myself as that. Anyway, if you want to presuppose things, that's fine. But when we try to match that presupposition to reality, now y'all going to say, oh, yeah, the eclipses and stuff, we can make predictions or whatever. But when I talk about things like water, you know, and you having to have a force to make that water adhere to the outside of a shape, and where is this force? You know, that's what's not matching reality to us, or at least I'm speaking for me. You know,
what makes things fall? Why don't we fly up into space?
Well,
Why would we?
I've just got one last question for the Globe Deniers here. What piece of information or what bit of knowledge would make you say, you know what, it's a freaking globe? What would do it?
There is none, because the globe is
Okay,
impossible.
if there is none, then you're being intellectually dishonest, and there's no reason for you to be here.
Well,
No, that's
here's the
absolutely absolutely incorrect. The
That's not
globe
actually-
model.
Travis,
the globe
it is,
model
Travis,
is the impossibility of the contrary.
Travis,
the world
Travis.
that you think
No,
you live
no, no,
in
no, no.
is
See?
impossible.
Okay, here's the thing.
There he goes,
No,
obviating.
Stop. Here's the problem with what you just said. First of all, when you guys are saying you're flat earthers, you are saying that the globe is a lie and the earth is flat. But what I've been hearing lately is this. I have something to say, and flat earth is a good label to start off it and be heard. So,
who says that?
That's exactly what's happening. For instance, you bash Globers for quote unquote presupposing the globe, which I do, and the reason I do it is because I'm constantly verifying my understanding, and it verifies I'm correct that it is a globe. Now, when Flat Earth does this presupposing, what are you doing to verify presuppositions? Because, again, the ether band does not explain any one thing. It explains your view of how the atmosphere in light works, but it doesn't have any explanation to it. When Seek and Find is saying that the ocean is constantly level and flat, he's literally presupposing.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
What do you say?
I said still bodies. I say still bodies of water. I know what I say. I didn't say that the ocean. Of course, the ocean. I work. I live in Florida, man. I work at a fish market that's right on the water. So I didn't say that. Okay.
So what is it then?
When I talk about the behavior of water, okay, low viscous fluids that flow easily, to get that low viscous fluid to adhere to the outside of a shape like a sphere, you can make it a square, you can make it a triangle. To get the water to adhere to the outside of a shape takes a force, and it's going to take a strong ass force because it's tons of water. So,
strongest force.
I mean, if y'all don't understand that and don't want to deal with that, and just, as QE says, just whistle past the graveyard on that, then you can do all the presuppositions you want, but I'm always going to bring you back to that fact that
QE's a dunce.
Good news for you. We got a strong ass force. It's called gravity.
So it's strong now, because usually y'all say it's weak. So now it's strong.
And compared to what you think should be happening if it was a globe, absolutely, it's fucking hell yeah. Guess what? It makes planes fall out of the sky. But here's the reality of it. But here's the reality of it. But here's the reality of it.
It's immense. It's not strong.
What?
Immensely weak.
Anyway,
it's immensely weak.
No, stop. Thank you. That's why I would like to continue. It is strong enough to make a plane fall out of the sky. But compared to the other forces, it is weak. So when you hear how gravity is weak, it's not saying gravity is not strong and we can do whatever the fuck we want. It's just compared to the other forces.
What other forces?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Thank you. Go ahead.
Strong, weak, electromagnetic, and gravity.
So y'all always love.
Okay, what other forces? Be specific. Don't just throw out generic.
Strong, weak, electromagnetic, and gravity.
Strong, weak. So that's a strong force. So when I say what's a strong force? What do you mean by a strong force?
Strong force is a nuclear force that holds holds the nuclei and particles together.
How do you know how strong it is?
Unpaid. Hold on. Unpaid. Stop giving the free education. If they went to high school, then they already had any class at all in physics or even earth sciences. Then these questions are irrelevant.
Hey, I'm a second grade dropout that used to drive taxi, and I'm retired. I didn't get this in school. I would have got it on my own.
That I agree with Unpaid what he just said, because I didn't learn any of this shit. I learned it relevantly in the past 3 years.
It's
Yeah,
just
we're
see
just
this
having a
every single
conversation
time.
here. I'm just trying
No,
to figure out what
no,
you mean by
Yeah,
that.
what does it matter? It's a free country, right? Let's have a free conversation here. So,
All right,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
How do your eyes work?
because I'm hearing, please educate me because I totally somehow don't remember any of this, yada, 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 and
Well,
Google
no.
doesn't exist.
You don't have to educate anybody. You don't have to force them to even listen to you. Problem is that's like I said, man. There's people that aren't knowledgeable of this stuff who went to high school that just don't remember it. Didn't get taught. I don't know, but
the bottom line
if you
is,
ask
y'all
some,
call
hang on,
gravity
Drank
a
through high
force, and
school, all
we
the other
don't
stuff.
interact with
goddamn,
this
so you can
force.
find. Hang on, like literally defending your idea.
Well,
What's
it's
going
getting
on?
off on a tangent. We're getting off point here, man. You know,
Okay, you know what? Go ahead.
me and Travis are bringing up points, and somehow they
No, you're
always get
not bringing up points.
obfuscated. We always get off
No,
point.
no, we answered it.
Nothing gets
You
driven
said
home.
gravity is
Nobody's
weak.
toes get held to the
Speaking
fire.
fine, calm your
Speaking
shit.
fine. You literally just said
Oh.
that gravity was weak, and I literally just explained to you how it's not weak. It's weak compared to the other forces. That's where your misconception of how it works is. It's not my fault.
Of the four primary forces, gravity is the weakest.
Would you like examples? So you can find.
So, can we see this force interact with, say, water? Because water
Yes.
is something that, hold on, like I said, Sean, the wind blows, which is a force. The wind is a force. Everybody agree?
No,
No,
So wind's not a force.
wind
No.
is not a force.
It's an effective force.
Yep.
What's the cause of wind?
So wind is not a force, but gravity is.
What's the cause of wind?
No, the wind is not a force
What is
any
the
more than your
cause?
car is a
Travis,
force.
you can yell that all you
So
want to.
ask,
We're not gonna
ask,
answer you.
ask
We're
the
talking
people in the
super fine.
Bahamas if wind is not a force.
Take a chill pill, Bri.
Ask them if wind is not a force.
No, the wind is just particles.
Okay, what is the cause of wind?
See, this is how silly y'all sound. Y'all say level's not flat, wind is not a force, straight lines are curved. You know, when you believe in the globe, this is how silly you sound.
So you can find, is your car a force?
Yeah.
Here we go with the obfuscation, man. Changing.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
We're talking. I said wind is a
If I
force. I
hit,
can't
if
even
I
get an
hit you with my
agreement
car,
on the panel that wind is a force.
An analogy. Is your car, the physical car, a force?
if I hit you with it, will you feel it?
The car is not the force.
If I hit you with my car, will it force
Travis.
you off your feet?
The car is not the force.
If I hit you with my car, will it force you off your feet?
the car is not the
Changing
force.
the terms
What?
is the physical car is not the force.
What knocked you off your feet if I hit you with my car?
The force
The
of impact.
car's
Yeah, you know
What?
you huffing and puffing, but this is how dumb the shit get when people won't answer simple
No,
questions.
okay. This is exactly
This
what
is
Why
I
you
was-
huffing and puffing? And
Okay, you
y'all
ready?
are the ones acting like this, man, not letting the conversation progress because we can't hammer down simple ass points like level and flat are synonymous.
Well, here's the
I'm
problem
still
is
trying
Travis
to-
is
okay, hold on.
Travis is asking the question of Travis is asking the question if his car if he hits someone with a car if it's going to hurt. We're not dancing around the
That's not what I
question.
said. I didn't say
Okay,
that, Sean.
well, let me bring you back to what the original
Hold on.
question was because is wind a force?
Wind is not a
No, wind is not a
Wind
force.
is not a force.
Okay, I'm gonna
You
mute
might
that.
as well have asked if
Someone-
fire is an element. It's a stupid question.
Someone said wind is an effect, correct? Someone said that, yes?
Wind is an effect.
What's the cause?
There's a
The movement of molecules,
What moves those molecules?
a differential of pressure.
Okay, pressure.
Okay,
So
here
like,
you go. Ready? It says wind is caused by the differences in the atmospheric pressure. When a difference in atmospheric pressure exists, air moves from the higher to the lower pressure area, resulting in winds of various speeds on a rotating planet. Air will also be deflected by the Coriolis effect, except exactly on the equator. Now, I know you guys are going to have problems with everything that paragraph said, but here's the reality of it. That's how it's explained because that's how everyone observes it There you go.
And that's how it works.
Yeah, it was all fine until you got to the Coriolis. But the point is that wind, even if it is a secondary cause, right? So wind is a secondary cause. I don't have a problem calling it a secondary cause.
Like a cause and
But
effect.
if I'm gonna fly a kite,
Oh no,
I
no, no!
need
It's
wind.
an effect. I'm sorry. You're gonna. It's an effect.
Okay, is the wind
We're
causing?
gonna play the density thing.
Is the wind?
Oh, don't
is,
play the Anthony game. Causal chains are fine.
Is the wind causing? Is the wind caught? Is the wind?
The accelerated mass.
Wind,
the accelerated mass of particles does put a force on things. Does that
are
wind
you
is a
saying?
force? No.
Are you saying accelerated particles is a synonym for wind?
Yeah, I
No.
shouldn't have said wind. I had to say accelerated particles, man. Did you want me to specify which particles those were?
These
I can't say
accelerated particles. Let me rephrase that for you.
Wait, stop. Everyone stop.
Accelerated
Stop.
particles can impart a force.
Stop. Seek and find. What causes wind? Travis,
The man
one of
just
you
said it.
guys.
The differential and pressure.
No.
She just said it. Why are you asking me now?
Because you're saying that everything we're saying is wrong.
No,
Is wind a force?
no.
Is wind a force?
Bullshit, man.
Okay.
No, it's like
fucking shit.
Really? I have a replay. I can instantly.
Yeah, go
easily
ahead and replay it. You said you guys are going to disagree with everything I said, and I said not with everything up until the point you said Coriolis was just fine. So no, I didn't disagree with everything you said, Sean.
That's not what I'm talking about.
He's talking to Seek and Find. Just because you are your own person doesn't mean you have to get in a huff.
When he says you guys,
Flat Earth.
wow.
Travis, you're a bit of an oddity, Travis. I'll give you that. So when we speak in generalities, it may not always apply to you. Much in the
Okay,
same
we're
way.
not speaking in generalities. I'm speaking to you. I'm not speaking to other globe believers.
In that
Seek
case,
and
you really
Find-
should welcome generalizations because
Seek
you
and
really get
Find
up on
and
all the
I-
time.
Seek and Find and I are the ones you're speaking to. So when you say you guys and you're talking about what you just said, you're talking to the two of us. You're not talking to Aaron because Aaron's not fucking here.
Hey,
You're
Travis.
talking to me.
Hey, Travis. So speaking of talking to you, why are we doing that? Considering you've already said that nothing will change your mind.
Hey, you see how we off point right now? This is what they want.
Yeah,
We're
I know.
completely off point right now.
Yeah,
Who took
you're
us
good
off
at it.
point?
You're good at
Seek and Find. Are you sure about that? Because I've been trying to keep it on point.
I drive for a living. I
don't
sit back
think
and
so.
listen to y'all all the time. This is what y'all do. This is what y'all do.
Really? Because a minute ago, Seek and Find, you brought up water being level and flat again. It has nothing to do with the conversation. We're talking about wind.
Yeah. Hey, he was the one that brought it up.
I'll ask you
No.
this.
He didn't bring up water being level. You did. You
Travis,
accused him.
Travis,
No,
Travis.
shut up.
No,
you
wait,
shut up.
Whoa.
No.
Fuck you and your
You
asshole.
are the
First of all, fuck you, because I've never disrespected you while you were here, Travis. You're not going to start disrespecting me, because I'll boot your ass off this fucking panel just as fast as I booted Aaron. Yeah, fuck you guys. Both of you. Anyone who's
Have
coming
you
at
have
me-
you booted me
How
yet, Sean?
about this?
Boot
Come
me.
at- okay.
Boot me. Go ahead. Boot me.
Done.
Boot me.
Usually y'all able to get through the night without booting nobody. Usually when I come on and join, this is what happens. This is why, I usually don't join, man.
Why?
Because I am the type of person that I'm not gonna bullshit around. I do have specific questions. I like to get them resolved. I don't like
Seek.
See, you haven't been disrespectful. You haven't been an asshole. You haven't trolled. You have no reason to get kicked off. But and neither did Travis, right up until he decided to tell me to go fuck off, basically.
And Seek, I have to say also that when I asked the question earlier, is there anything that would change your mind? You didn't say no.
I didn't get the answer, actually.
That's why I said, though, you didn't say no. So that tells me that you're at least got a mind that's open enough to listen to evidence.
Yeah, if it's a globe, I want to know. But I'm telling you, man, I'm like, it's no way in my mind.
That,
right now,
and that at least shows me that there's a spark of intellectual honesty there.
Travis has over and over again told us that there's nothing that will ever change his mind.
Yeah, and I was going to say,
which is intellectually dishonest.
Yeah,
people will say that they're truth seekers. I'm a truth seeker. you're not if you're not willing to listen to evidence and you're not willing to entertain the concept, something might change your mind. You're not a truth seeker. You're somebody that's up on a soapbox blathering your dogma and not willing to listen, not willing to learn, not willing to move forward.
100%.
Well, I'll tell y'all like this. Y'all got some explaining to do. That's for damn sure.
That's fine.
No. You shouldn't look at it as we have some explaining to do. It should be we have a lot of things to figure out, right? I mean, you're a truth seeker, right? See?
So it's not nailed down and ironclad that we're on a sphere.
In my opinion, it is.
In my opinion,
Still up for debate, obviously, right?
I don't see where the debate is because we've got pictures.
It'd be up for debate for flat Earth, but not up for debate within reason or evidence. I mean,
so let me get this straight. Even you, Sean, sorry to cut you off. Even you don't see no relevance in flat Earth. You don't see no good point. Like, man, yeah, the water thing is a good point. But, we got this. It's like you won't even shout out the good points that turned you into a.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think flat Earth is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. No. Let me finish. Let me finish. Flat Earth is amazing for letting people who believe it's a globe realize their confidence in that globe is not as sufficient as it should be. Meaning people think they know a lot more than
shitty.
Yeah, people think they know a lot more about the globe and how it works and how science works than they actually do. But that doesn't mean they're wrong. It doesn't mean they don't know where we live. The realization is that when I became a flat earther, I wanted truth and I wanted to know where we live. And the simple fact that I didn't understand the globe like I thought I did easily made it easy for me to just overlook the fact that I was really just complaining over globe phenomenons. Here's the other realization of it. If anyone's asked you for evidence, you will not give evidence, which only means this: you have every right to believe it's flat Earth. You have no right to tell us, for instance, gravity is not real. Why? Because you don't understand gravity enough to say that. How do I know? Because I know no one on my panel understands gravity enough to start altering anything.
See, I got to stop you there because, you call gravity. You're one of the ones that calls gravity a force, but there's no evidence like you trying to obfuscate the wind point not being. Hold on. It's Sean, you got to admit, man. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to stop there. Go ahead.
But, I mean, I can... Do me a favor. I'm going to start counting, see?
So hold on. You still never answered the question of what were the points
I don't know if I have a lag right now.
You thought were good, right? That were good enough to... Hold on, Sean.
I know. See, I need to know if there's a lag. Because right now, it seems like there's a huge lag in this fucking hangout.
Yeah, I like how you say, go ahead.
So, I'm going to start counting. I would love for anyone to count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay,
4,
so
5,
definitely not that.
6, 7, 8.
Well, I'm not counting it. Damn. Okay, so there's no lag, so I'm not going crazy. Thought so. Whew, thank God. So you can find. Say this one more time. I became a flat earther because I thought I understood more about the globe than I did, which means my understanding was shot, which made it very easy for me to not realize I was really complaining about global phenomena. That is as simple and as basic and straightforward of an answer for why I became a flat earther. Now, you ask me, you can't say that flat earth isn't good for... It's good for one thing, making you realize, as a glober, your confidence level in how you know something is to be is not as it really is. That's the good in it. But the problem is that flat earthers have taken this argument or debate over the shape of the earth into all these other conspiracies that have nothing to do with it and are running with it. Shootings, government hates us, like everything that was here before flat Earth. Flat Earth basically just uses flat Earth to combine everything into their line. The realization is that there's no sufficient evidence at all, except, or maybe the one, when you look around, when you go outside and you take a look around your surroundings. But even then, very rarely are you ever going to be somewhere that's actually flat. So even that perception is kind of skewed. The realization is that everything about flat Earth is a presupposition without verification.
So you're telling me I can't verify that the natural behavior of water.
That's not. But see, that's not evidence of flat Earth.
And find its level.
It's not. You're not giving us an evidence for a flat
Look,
Earth. You're just saying
the
what
evidence,
water does.
The proof is right. It's self-evident, man.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you.
When you look in the definition of leveled water, does it say globe?
See, what kind of question is that?
Guess what? It doesn't. Which means.
So let's talk about level, right?
When you say level and flat, it doesn't say flat Earth either. So what I'm saying is,
let me ask you a question that's actually pertinent to the conversation.
Talking, and you're literally cutting me off.
So now you're gonna boot me now. You're gonna get mad and boot me now.
If that's what you're pushing for, I'll
fucking move you. No, I'm trying to have a. I'm trying to have.
I don't give a shit less. I'm trying to make it very clear to you. When you look at water, level water, it does not say globe on it. And it doesn't say flat Earth on it, which is why when I say it's not evidence for a flat Earth, that's why. I would like an evidence for your flat Earth.
Empirical and exclusively indicative.
So something that would be empirical and exclusively indicative would be the actual measurement of the curvature of something.
Let me show you.
Yes.
The dance begins.
I have a question for you, Seek.
Because hold on.
Go ahead.
I can demonstrate level water 100 times out of 100 to y'all, but y'all can never ever demonstrate this water ball to me sustaining itself. And I have other questions, but
now you're reaching.
Now I'm reaching. Okay.
So you have his questions, but you don't have nothing to present to back up your claims that promoting the flat Earth.
I don't have time to compile all this evidence.
Well, I have a question.
Oh, you're being asked for one evidence. You're being asked for just one little piece of evidence, a little something that you can give us, not just questioning and denying the globe, but maybe a positive claim that you can back up.
Yeah, okay, fuck everyone listening right now so you can find. What's the evidence that made you a flat earther? Because saying water is level and water finds its level has nothing to do with a flat earth evidence.
It has a lot to do with it, because I understand that it would take a force, and it would take a hell of a force to hold water, which naturally wants to flow. It's a low viscous fluid.
So when
it's not syrup, Sean.
So when they say gravity is the weakest force, what does that mean to you? That it's just the weakest force, like the weakest of everything? Like
when you say force to me, it's something that I can interact with it. Okay, a push is a force. Wind is a force. Something. If I smack you, that's a force.
Not a force.
But you can't tell me. Hold on. Okay.
Wind is not a force.
Show me a force. Show me force.
Use the force, Luke.
This is as honest in clarifying a claim like that as it gets. Show me a force.
What is force? Mass times acceleration in y'all.
No. That's an equation. See? I want to see force.
Sean, if you're not gonna let me talk, I'll just leave, man. I'll just leave.
Then you can just leave, because my question is what needs to be answered. Can you
this
show
is a
me
tactic
force?
that you have. It's to cut people off.
Yeah.
Obfuscate all night. Don't let the conversation get nowhere. Mm-hmm. It's very dishonest, Mr. Truth Army. Well, it's very dishonest.
Mr. Seeker,
please. Nope. No one else talk. No one else talk at all.
Go ahead. Everybody jump in.
Here's how it works.
Be perfect.
I'm asking you to show me a force, because you said push and all these things. Those are effects. Can you show me a force?
The effect of me pushing something is it moving. That's the effect of the force.
No, you pushing.
Yeah, putting something in motion is the effect of the force.
So a push, that's a force.
So force
Or is
equals
that-
mass
is that
times
important?
acceleration, right? And you say wind is not a force.
So then, what?
No,
So
it's
wind
due
just
to
So
the
if
pressure.
wind is
so
not a
wind-
force and
so does
gravity is a
wind-
force,
So does wind happen for no reason?
but I can
Does-
interact like
does that
wind
equate-
interacts with
Matter of
me,
fact,
but gravity I don't feel.
That equation you just muttered
This is insane. You guys
proves
are
you
insane.
wrong. So again,
Well, it's wind can apply a force. It itself is not a force.
Okay, fair enough, man. Just to move the conversation along. Fair enough.
no, it's
Fine.
not fair enough. It's reality.
Okay. So gravity.
Remember, what was your
So I can
question?
see. I can
What's
see.
the
Hold
question?
on.
Yeah, what's the question you
When
always
wind,
ask me?
when wind, right, interacts with water, it creates waves.
Yep.
That's the effect of the force interacting with the water. So my question is, what is this gravity force doing to
Show
water?
me okay. If you
I'll
say
wait.
wind, then show me a force. If that's how you think it works.
Wind creates waves. Water
Show me
naturally
Can you show me a force?
affects forces affect water naturally, right?
So
water.
So wait, is wind
obliges
always
to
there?
these forces, right? That's
So
what y'all
wind's
say,
always
right?
there,
So
right?
I'm just asking a simple question: what is
No,
gravity?
You're
doing
avoiding
to the water?
answering any question you possibly can.
Hey, John G, and Seek and Fine. I don't think Seek and Fine is going to present any evidence in favor of flat Earth. I'm just disclaiming that.
And the thing is see, fine. I'm not even asking these prove flat Earth questions. I'm literally just asking if you understand stuff, and you're not willing to even answer that. That's what's happening right now.
Now, what's happening is you guys just don't want to deal with the simple points. Very simple points, like perspective.
Maybe you think that people is avoiding to answer your questions, Seek and Fine. You think people is avoiding to answer your questions that you have asked time after time?
What is the point of these conversations, Jose? What are we here for?
Okay, we're here for you asking your questions.
What do you host the show every day for?
Okay, second fine. You ask me a question, let me answer. We are here because you want to come into the panel to ask the same questions that you have asked before, time after time, and we are willing. The guys are willing to give you the answer. So to see what's going to happen, but you're still going to deny today and come back tomorrow and ask him again. That's what we're here. Try to help you, brother.
Chop it up, talk to y'all about why I feel the way I feel. Because gravity, I don't interact with it. Now, maybe some of y'all, I know Sean's an atheist, and which is amazing to me because, you know, the whole order out of chaos thing, y'all actually agree that the heliocentric model is in order, right?
That is, you read obfuscation. That is an obfuscation.
Okay, so hold on. What point are we on, Brian? You tell me what point we're on right now that you want to stick.
You were going to present an evidence for flat Earth. That's the point we are on.
Now you want to stick to the point when I bring up the atheism and how crazy that
you're going to present evidence for flat Earth. So you can find that's where we are.
Yeah.
Water. Go outside, Jose. Are you spinning when you go outside? There's my evidence. You go outside and you don't feel shit. You don't feel gravity. You don't feel spin. You don't feel the rotation around the earth. You don't feel anything. It's all perfect.
Okay, so
no creator.
So ignorance and incredulity is your
exactly. Yeah, no evidence to present yet.
Do flies feel like they're driving in a car going 60 miles an hour? So you can find.
Say it again.
So you're driving in your car at 60 miles an hour, and there's a fly flying around in your car. Does the fly feel like he's going 60 miles
I know
an hour?
all about relativity. I do actually drive for a living, so I know about relativity. So, like when a car is in front of me, right, we're both going. Say the car in front of me is going 75 and I'm going 74 right behind it. I see the brakes. He hits the brakes. Why don't I have to slam? Why don't I slam on my brakes when I see those brake lights? It's because my motion, the way I can detect motion, I know that car in front of me is not slamming on the brakes. It's just they're just lightly tapping the brakes because I perceive motion well. Now y'all sitting up here telling me, yeah. The whole point is that I perceive motion
to explain how that is
relativity very well. So y'all telling me that
so you can
relative to my position standing on the earth.
Clarification point. How is that relativity?
Because relative to my position, that car just slightly hit his brakes. It didn't slam on it, and I didn't slam on mine. You understand?
It's not explaining. That's not relativity.
Yeah, I know what relativity is. Okay.
What is it?
So.
This is why I ask you questions, because you make statements like that, and it's clear you don't have an understanding of what it is.
Okay, so when you're driving down the road, right, relative to your position, like the trees outside that are close to you, whiz by you. The trees way off in the background are moving a lot slower as you drive by. Relative to your position.
That's not fucking dude. Hey,
You want to know what relativity actually is?
Okay, go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
You gotta love it.
The shortest way to say what relativity is, it's the notion that the laws of physics are the same everywhere.
Relative to your position. I've said it like five times.
No.
That is in no way what I said.
No.
And what you explained was not that.
All right, so
okay, so the reason that happened is the reason. This is why I have questions for you, because I need to know you have an understanding of what you're claiming.
Seek, can I borrow your ear for a moment?
I'm listening.
Okay. First off, the trees that are close by, the whizzing past, that's parallax. The reason we ask these questions and the reason we ask for terms that are being used to be clarified and knowledge demonstrated is we run across so many people, just so many that have no idea what they're talking about. They're simply parroting talking points that have been spewed out by someone else. And they're using terms that are not scientific. They're using things like ether band and stuff like that make no sense. They have nothing that they relate to. So what we're trying to do is we ask these questions so that we could try to get on the same page so that we can all communicate more effectively.
Okay,
That's
so
what we're trying to do.
And just tell me if I'm way off basis when I say relativity has. You telling me relativity has nothing to do with relative to your position, the movement of objects. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with it. I was way off.
Not in your reference frame, it did, yeah.
So somebody else defined
the way
it.
that you described it, you were very, very off because you were describing your perception according to a break check.
But I agree with the parallax point, but it's like parallax is relative to your position, correct? That's what y'all talk about when you look out into the you look out at the sun and the sun's not moving. It's us moving.
Avoiding the relativity.
Relative to the sun.
The things that are relativity just means that the laws of physics are the same everywhere.
Okay.
So when you're driving in your truck down the road, and we'll say you set the cruise at 75 miles an hour. Now, you could actually get up and walk around if you had a big enough cab and everything like that. You could actually do that. I mean, of course, the wheel would have to stay straight. But if relativity wasn't going on, there would be no way you could do that because you would be flying backwards with the truck, basically. Because you would be traveling at 75 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, this argument is such an old and, to me, silly argument. You always like to bring it to an encapsulated vehicle of some sort, which the Earth is not a closed, encapsulated system. So it's just a terrible analogy. You're talking about, hold on, I'm not done. You're talking about linear movements with a car driving straight down the road. You're not even making it revolve or spin like the Earth does. It's just a bad analogy, guys. You guys use it over and over constantly. And it's bad. It's just bad to me.
If we're not allowed to use bad analogies, then the flat Earth literally cannot use a single analogy ever.
We don't need analogies. We use practicality, like water finding its own level. It's a fact. That's a fact.
Water does not always find its own level.
That's actually
electrostatics will hold water in place. That's another force. You have to understand that there are many forces that are acting on the Earth as we speak. Magnetic is one of them.
Do forces cause effects?
If water,
very simple question.
Yes, forces cause
what is the
effects.
effect of the force of gravity on water?
It is pulling it towards the center of the earth.
It holds it down.
It also causes tides.
No. It is pulling it towards the center of the earth.
And by
It
the
is
nature
not
of that,
saying
what is the water doing?
it's not down, it's towards the center of the earth.
By the nature of the water getting pulled down, what is it? What is the behavior of it? Because it's getting
No.
down.
Towards the center of the earth. That's where we're having the issue. You see, you're thinking flat, and it's being pulled towards the center of a sphere. It's not down. It's towards the center.
I'm just asking for the effect of the pulling force. What is the effect from that? Because I want to observe it in reality.
Well, sure. Can you sail around the earth?
So wind is a force. It causes waves.
It's not a fucking force.
Okay, it causes an effect, but gravity is a force that causes no effect.
Jesus Christ.
What does that mean?
It means every time we answer a question of that he has, he doesn't listen or care.
Very simple.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
That was
the simplest.
No. That was a very well modified Riley argument for gravity as it being an effect, not being able to cause anything, which is really a fucking stupid argument.
No, you say it's a force. Y'all say it's a force. I'm giving that to you. It's a force. What's the effect is my question. What's the effect? Because water shows the effect of forces acting upon it.
As we perceive it, the effect as we perceive it is mass attracting mass.
Hey, so you can find. What did Sean Smith say the effect was?
It holds it down, like you said.
No, what did he say?
I thought that's what he said. So if
He
I'm
said
wrong,
it pulls it to the center of mass.
Okay, so what's the behavior? If I pull a trigger, there's an effect. You know what I'm saying? If I pull your arm, there's an effect. Gravity's pulling water. What's the effect? It's a simple question. I want to observe it.
Towards the center of the mass.
Does it make
towards the center of the earth.
It's like y'all not giving me nothing. It just does it. You know.
Okay,
we don't.
Nobody answer this question except for so you can find. What was Sean Smith's explanation for an effect
It pulls it
of
to
gravity?
the center of mass. So
Thank you. Okay, so
what is that?
now why do you need to ask that question again?
Because that answer doesn't suffice. That's why I'm
What
asking.
is what's the real answer for it?
I even gave you an example. You want to hear it again? Wind, which is a force.
Oh, okay.
Wind is not a goddamn force.
Again, stop. Now, show me where you got the information that wind is a force.
Hurricane Dorian.
What the? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay,
Yeah.
by your analogy,
Checkmate.
Two pressure systems, centripetal force and centrifugal force.
Yeah, force.
Two pressure systems, centrifugal force and centripetal force are working with each other, and the wind is the effect of those two pressure systems.
And now, understand something. He gave you the forces that hurricane you think is a force.
So
is effect that makes
so the difference in air pressure
works?
didn't cause it. It was the spin of the earth that caused that hurricane.
you really didn't listen.
Yeah,
to Sean said. Sean
You said-
listed the pressure systems in there.
Centripetal and centrifugal forces. Where's that coming from? The difference in air pressures. Where's it coming from? I'm asking.
Yes, the difference in air pressures.
You could just go
Okay,
back
so-
and listen to it again too, because you obviously didn't listen.
Difference. I agree. The difference in air pressures causes wind. Wind causes houses to be.
So wait. You just said it. You just said it. What was the first cause?
Yep.
What was the first cause?
The fact still remains. Wind is a force.
No. What was the first cause?
Hold on. See, do forces cause effects? Yes or no?
What was the first cause? What was the first cause? Because you can't have a cause a cause
It doesn't matter.
to make it so.
You guys
No, it does. It does because here's the reason why it does matter. Because you can't have a cause that makes its own self.
So what's gravity then?
So,
And
so what was the cause that caused the wind to happen?
you stepping on your own toes there. What's gravity in your model? If
Actually, no. We need to take a step back.
I already explained that.
isn't gravity just the effect of bending of space time, so it can't cause it?
What?
Who's changing the
It can't
subject?
cause
This really is a right argument he's pulling here.
What was the cause that caused the wind?
The wind caused the Bahamas to be in shambles because it's a force.
That's not what I asked. I asked a specific question. What caused the wind?
This is silly, man. That doesn't cause it really is irrelevant, man. What you're saying is irrelevant.
No, you are just trying to get away from the question. Just answer the question. That's all it takes.
We've been around this circle a couple times. We agree.
So what caused it?
It's a differential in air pressures. Okay, we
Why
agree.
do you
We
keep
both
saying wind is a force? You repeatedly say it after that.
because Dorian.
So you can find, is your hand a force? So you can find, this is your question. Is your hand a force?
Hey, is gravity a force?
Is your hand a force?
Is gravity a force?
Yes.
Please answer the question. So you can find, is your hand a force?
Yes.
Okay, I think that satisfies everything I needed to know about you.
Yeah, because I haven't heard any Glober say weight is a force. I haven't heard that.
Weight is a force.
Oh,
Weight
but does my hand have weight? Does my hand have weight?
I don't think
Weight is not a force. It is an effect of a force. Again,
You guys sound silly, man. Straight lines are curved, right?
Technical weight is the measurement of force.
Straight lines are curved, man. Level is curved. Straight lines are curved, right?
what are you talking about?
He's trying to talk about falling into the geodesics. He's just failing miserably.
This is absolutely ridiculous, man.
You're telling me it's incredibly ridiculous. So far, I found out that everything is a force.
So I can observe wind, which is a force. I can observe that causing an effect.
Wait. So seek and
I
find.
can't observe
So
gravity
You're
causing
saying
anything.
Seek and find. You're saying wind is a force, right?
He's saying his hand is a force.
Seek and find. You're saying wind is a force, correct?
No, I'm saying you guys believe my hand is a force because
No,
you say
I'm
I'll
asking
run around
you,
here saying
seek and
weight
find.
is a
I
force.
didn't ask you about your hand. I can give a shit less. I asked you, do you still
Weight's
think
a force.
wind is a force?
Wind's not a force. Gravity is a force.
Wait.
And weight's a force.
Okay.
But wind's not a force.
So wind's not a force, right? Are we in agreement?
Go ahead, Sean. Like, make a point.
In your
Point,
truth,
because
in your
every
truth
point that I
seeking,
bring up, every point that I bring up,
in your truth seeking, what exactly has changed, or have you learned?
What do you mean? I try to learn something every day, Sean. What do you?
Okay, what have you learned today?
I learned that I'm wasting my time by coming on these panels. That's what
I didn't ask you what I learned. I asked you what you learned.
I've learned that I'm wasting my time by coming on these panels and talking to people who won't concede simple points.
Like what? Wind is a force? Because that's not true.
Like level and flat are not synonymous. Like if you don't type in
They're not.
synonyms
They're
of
not.
level right now, flat won't be one of the words that pops up.
Nope,
as
not even close.
Do you know
All
what
right,
that
so
word means?
I have a
I
shelf.
made a video.
I have a flat
I
level
already
shelf.
exposed Sean for being a charlatan anyway.
Yeah,
so.
everyone should go check out Seek and Find's
That's not
channel.
my. That's not my. Yeah, that's not my.
His-
I'm not trying to blow
No,
up. And
he
you know,
should
get
go
super
and
rich
check out Seek and Find's channel. Find the one where he somehow calls me and Lewis out for being intellectually dishonest, please, and then comment in the chat whether or not that's actual intellectually dishonest. Thank
You
you.
only do it. You only do it every day, Sean.
Seek and
You only
find.
do
Hang
it.
on. I got a question
You
for
only
you,
do
man.
it every day.
Seek and find. I have a question for you. I have a shelf. It is flat and level. I now tilt it 90 degrees. Is it still
Yeah.
flat?
Yeah, pour some water on it. What will
Is
the
it still
water
flat?
do? Will
Is
the
it still
water
flat?
flow?
Please
Yeah,
answer.
it's flat. It's flat and not level. If you pour some
There you
water
go.
on it, it will flow, right?
I can guarantee that some of that water is going to stay on that board.
Right. Right.
I'm just pointing out that flat and level are not the same thing.
I didn't say they were the same thing. I didn't say
You
that.
just said they were synonymous. That means
Yeah.
they're.
You did just say they were synonymous.
Okay, they're synonyms They're
Synonymous does not mean the same as synonyms.
Yeah, that's the
okay.
problem.
Fine. Okay. All right.
Learn your terms and come back when you understand them, and we can have a real. Okay.
Flat does not equal level, but you type in synonyms of level, and what do you see? You ain't gonna see nothing like
What is
you
it?
ain't gonna see nothing
What
like
is a
curved or tilted.
What is a
which
synonym?
is
What is a synonym? What is it? What is it?
Curved
What
is
is a
not
synonym?
good.
Tell
See,
me.
this is the type of gaslighting. See,
I would
y'all
like
have
to-
a
yeah.
y'all have like a handful
You
of tactics,
realize
and y'all
again.
go through them like
You
it's like a
realize
Bible or
that
something.
I constantly ask questions to see if you understand what you're saying. What is a synonym?
Synonymous doesn't have synonym like as part of the word. That's what you're saying.
Again, let me ask you, what is the definition of it?
What's the root word of synonymous?
See, why can't you answer a simple question? What does it mean? What does synonymous mean? Any clue? You can say you don't know. It's okay. No, you don't know? That's why your argument is shit. Someone who understands, can explain, doesn't constantly avoid. Okay, well, with that said, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and end this because we've pretty much gotten exactly what I thought I would get. Unpaid Phil, you want to start off?
You know, I'm really not sure what to say, so I'll just say thanks for the panel. Enjoyed it.
Hey, Bob's in the chat.
Brian, you want to go ahead?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking. I didn't mean to jump in the middle of that.
No. You didn't jump in the middle. And I'm final words.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I had a great time here. Didn't get as heated as I normally do, which I'm fine with, but god damn it, Mr. Seekifine, you make it difficult sometimes. Have a good night, y'all.
Thank you, sir. Let's go with Sean Smith.
Hey, Sean. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I wasn't painting tonight. I was I actually was talking on the phone most of most of the meeting, so I missed part of it. But yeah, it was a great panel tonight. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Seek and Find, you want to say anything?
Yeah, just to drive my point home earlier that I was trying to make, but it got obfuscated to hell, was that perspective is the reason why you see things disappear bottom up. I know you guys are going to deny that. You're going to call it curvature. You're going to say that the boat's going over the curve, but the water's not, and the water's not flowing on a curve. You know, the boat can go over this curve, but there's no tilt to it. The water's not going over this curve, which it would naturally do. You know, you guys act like flat Earth is just this silly thing, but you guys are here every day conversating it. You know, some actually even make money off of this. You know, it's like I don't understand why it has to be met with this, and I call it intellectually dishonest. Now, I see myself as an honest person. If I don't know something, I will say I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I rarely hear that coming from y'all side that y'all don't know. Y'all all sitting from this high perch, like you have all the information, and everybody doesn't know everything. Everybody doesn't know everything. So you can't have that position all the time. You don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy to me, you know. But that's it.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. Terry, how you been?
Oh, I've been great. I got here a little bit too late, so I can't really summarise what happened for the whole stream. But the last bits I picked up on is yes, we always seem to get bogged down with the meanings of words and their usages, which is confounding to me. When certain words get used in explaining something, one person just doesn't realise what their word means or what context they're trying to put it in. So, yeah, okay then. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, sir. That is Jose.
Wake up, Jose.
We know you're listening. All right. Well, if he comes back on, I'll let him. Here's my final word. It's very intellectually dishonest when someone says that don't ever say you don't know, because I think I say I don't know 1,000 times a string. I think it's intellectually dishonest when someone who says they don't have any problem saying they don't know, who never says they don't know. Kind of find it a little intellectually dishonest when someone asks the same question to get the same answer and then completely just not even pay attention to that answer. That's intellectually dishonest. I think flat Earth in itself is intellectually dishonest because for you to say it's flat Earth means you have to understand how it's a flat Earth to know it's a flat Earth. Otherwise, it's a presupposition because there's nothing to even go off of, nothing to even verify at all. The realization of why I became a flat earther is exactly what you said I don't do, seek and find. Because the reason I became a flat earther is because I didn't know. The reason I became a flat earther is because I wanted to know. The reason I left flat earth is because I understand now. Why? Because I am a real truth seeker. I am here for truth. So anyone who says differently, show me how. Because again, you're being intellectually dishonest if you're going to pretend I'm here for any other reason besides truth. And that goes for anybody. Show me where I'm not here for truth. Please. I beg you. I wish you would. Because then I could just look at you and laugh when you show me nothing. And here's the best part. Anyone can use my footage to show me where I've said I know all. Who shows where I'm being intellectually dishonest rather than ever you thought I was being, even though it was actually just giving out information seek. That's the realization of it. Again, somebody, please show me where I was intellectually dishonest, lie, all the above, all the BS that these random people say. Because here's the realization, if I was as like that, unfortunately, I probably wouldn't get along with so many people on both sides. Here's the other thing. If you're not willing to answer questions, and this isn't just for one person here, it's for anybody, both sides. If you're not willing to ask questions, if you're not willing to explain something, you may want to figure out if you actually know it or not. I mean, we are here on YouTube on a panel. You should be more than willing to explain something if you're trying to explain how someone else is wrong. Vice versa. Now, I get the 101 questions, because I had them too. I asked more questions than you could ever ask you can find. The difference is whether or not you hear it, the answer, and take that into account with your belief. Because if, again, like Travis, if you are one-sided and it's not a globe, period, you're not a truth seeker.